Okay, let's see if anybody's out there now. What a pain! What a pain! Living up here in the mountains can be very difficult. All right, if you want to, maybe you're out there, send Quisco and anyone else. Let's see if we're live now. I think everything is. I had to go back. I had to go back to YouTube Studio. I did not want to go to YouTube Studio. Hopefully, I'm coming through. My volume is coming through. What a pain in the butt. Let's make sure we're coming through. Sounds. Everything seems to be like where it's supposed to be. We'll see. Stanley Speed, hey guy. Hi, Stanley.
Do you hear us?
Yeah, do you hear us? What a pain. Are you getting audio, I should say? You read it for me because now I'm way too far away from the screen. Sorry for being delayed. This new program I'm working on is not being very cooperative with me. And that happens sometimes. I know we're late. And believe me, I started at 6 o'clock trying to upload and get all the stuff together, and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then I had to reinstall, uninstall, reinstall, and I kept going and going and going. Next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock, and I was getting aggravated at that point. So thank you for hanging in there, and love your site. We were looking at it earlier on, Marie and I, and she was taking notes on it. We were. Actually, she was. I was up here in the library doing the stuff that I do, and she was checking out all the sites. And she does. She goes to all the sites of all the subscribers, looks at their videos. Now, of course, not all of their videos because she'd still be down there doing this, but she gets a good idea what you guys do, and then calls me down to let me to view some of them. And there's some really good ones, and you guys have some good sites out there. Okay, I could use my phone too for that. Yeah. Oh, it's good. The new program, I'm going to throw the thing right out the window if I don't get it working tomorrow. I'll tell you that. I had it working yesterday and the day before. I didn't put it. Yesterday I did go live for a little while, and just to see the clarity of it. But the first day I hooked it up, I had it all just the way I wanted it. And then when I started putting in the transitions and putting in the intros and the outros and all that stuff, I think I overloaded it because it started blinking and sputtering and buffering and what the heck? What's going on here? And then by the time I stopped everything from blowing up, it was like, okay, now you're not going to work at all. So I go, all right, the old standby is go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. It's easy. It's quick. It's not the best video I've ever seen, that's for sure. But what am I going to do? What am I going to do? That's too bright. I'm trying to make sure that you can see us in the picture. And they did say they can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you can hear me, please text Stanley and anyone else out there. I can't see the screen. Please text and say you hear me talking. That would be nice. Otherwise, I could just sit here and stare at the camera while you stare at me staring at you for another half hour.
Type it in.
No, not there. On your phone. Yeah, don't touch that computer for any reason whatsoever. I don't trust it right now. Oh, God. I mean, I could have went downstairs and gone on the PC there, but I don't want to do that. Everything is set up here. Turn your volume down. So we know it is working. There we go. Okay, the volume's working. Thank you. It's coming through clear. We got new microphones. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Thank you.
New microphones. Thank you, Stanley. Appreciate it. We got all new equipment in here, so it's like it's Boxing Day or Christmas Day, and then you get it all out and you start plugging it in, and then it's like, oh great, I have to configure all this stuff, and I got 30 minutes. No. No, Lord, it was very stressful. But it's a good stress for me because I've always lived under the gun. And you get down to the last minute. At 2 minutes to 8, I was ready. Everything was ready. And I fire it up. I got all the cool things that I wanted to do loaded. And as soon as I hit go, that you could have seen the laptop shaking off the table. I go, what happened? What did I do? What did I do? And it was just making all sorts of sounds and stuff. And I go, what? Oh God, please not today. Not on the inaugural launch of our website. But I can't thank you enough. I wish I could read, and I don't want to get too close,
No
but
problem.
no, thank you. So Stanley,
Robin.
hi Robin.
Hi, Robin.
How are you, dear? Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate that very much. And the first night, and it's already what 45 minutes late, and I personally apologize for that. It's my fault. I should have really got up real early this morning and fired this thing up. And at that point, well, I guess we did get up early, but we did a bunch of running around those stuff.
Yeah.
But I should have just focused on this. This one likes to go out gallivanting on her days off. And yeah, you did. Let's go here. Let's go there. Right, Robin? Right. Yeah. But I thought everything was good. I fired it up yesterday. We were both on live, and then I put it on just recording. Everything is fine. And I said, okay, I got to put the intro in, the transitions, and some other stuff that we're working on. Oh, by the way, we're working on some really neat stuff. I'm not going to say what right yet because if I let the cat out of the bag, the copycats will come out and beat us to it. So anyway, really cool stuff is going to happen. As long as the video keeps playing. As long as like next Sunday, all I got to do is hit the play button and I'm on the air. I don't have to worry about it. But some cool stuff is going to happen, and you all will enjoy it. Y'all will enjoy it, I'm sure. For the people that are starting to tap in, I appreciate that. And like and subscribe if you haven't done it. Please like and subscribe, and that's really critical that you do like and subscribe for what's coming up soon. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say because then we'll just sit here and stare at you. We don't want to do that. So, Stanley and Robin, what's going on? What did you guys do today? It is Sunday, and it was crazy in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We were around, out and about in the area, and there was a lot of traffic out there. It was a lot of more traffic than there was on Saturday.
We were on the street for 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, well, easy. Yeah. We were just kind of stuck in traffic, and it was a lot like the picture that I took of the video that Marie and I did about the shortcuts into Pigeon Forge. Obviously, not enough people watched that video, or they wouldn't have been on that road. They would already be where they need to go. But it was just the same picture where the cars were lined up for miles. It was all the way through Sevierville because we were at the Home Depot area and down in that area, so we were already out of Sevierville, and it was traffic all the way back. Yeah.
Robin said, work and sit and work and some more.
Yeah.
And then Stanley said, I worked on a truck today getting it ready for Red Run.
Oh.
And speaking of Red Run.
Yes. Go ahead. What is it? I really like her to talk, and she, I'm trying to encourage her to not be afraid of this camera because it's basically you guys are in the living room with us now, and that's how we look at it. That's how I look at it. It's just your faces aren't there. That's another thing. Soon, Stanley, Robin, I can't read any of the others. You will be able to. We will be able to do face to face. And that was one of the reasons why this thing got locked up, because I definitely put too much stuff in it.
Isn't it that we're supposed to have only like probably two or three?
Yeah, they want two. I want six. I'm looking for 6 or 8. And 6, I'll accept 6. But like I was telling Crisco the other day, I may have to actually back down to 3. But I want to get 6 people in the screen, and we could talk face to face. Now, wouldn't you like that? You guys, wouldn't you like that to be almost face to face? It'd be screen to screen. and we'd be able to chat. Excuse me. And little by little, we can add more.
Yeah,
The technology's there.
we will see the face of Stanley.
We could see Stanley. We could and Robin. We already know what you look like, and Crisco and all the others. Smoky in the Mountains and what is that? You got the list.
All about the Smoky.
All about the Smokies, and I don't remember them, and I apologize. I don't remember all your names. I tried to, but I'm way too focused on this stuff for me to. Sometimes she's talking to me and I don't even hear her because I'm busy, really intensely into what I'm doing. I have to be, otherwise nothing. It wouldn't be working. All this stuff wouldn't be working. I'm very happy with my new condenser microphone. It's very sensitive, extremely sensitive. You can click your fingers and it picks it up. And I got that tapped in the camera. Camera's not bad. It's there's some dark spots I'm not happy with yet, and I hope to clear them up. But I was more interested in getting on with you guys, getting live. So I kind of put the key lighting on the back burner for today. But it looks fairly natural. Her hair looks a little darker than I wanted it. I want some highlights to be able to show. So we'll have the key lighting will be up. I got all sorts of stuff coming, and it's just, it's always something to do. Now, do you have say anything about our subscribers? Hmm? Or are you just gonna stare at yourself?
No.
She's so enamored by staring at herself on the screen.
No, I wanna see what are they telling.
What did you guys do this weekend, Stanley and Robin? Besides sitting and standing and standing and sitting, where'd you go? What did you do? Just type it in there.
Um, Stanley said he worked on a truck today.
Right. What truck do you have, Stanley? Obviously something for a rod.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw it in the video. Yeah, I could. I wish I could tap into it now, but I don't want to.
You want to tap?
I don't want to be rude and not talk to you guys. That's the whole idea. Is I want to talk to you guys. Well, we got several comments, or at least I did on my phone. I don't know if she got them. A couple people said, "Oh, they canceled the rod run," and I had to remind them. They also canceled the Jeep run, and they canceled the rod run before that, and they canceled everything else. Just because they canceled it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Um, the what is that? The Shades of the Past. That was actually scheduled to, if I'm not mistaken, Stanley, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, it was actually scheduled to be up by Dollywood, up in there, where they have car shows sometimes up in that area. And even though they canceled that, do you think that's going to stop the Rodders? Ooh, Rodders are going to come down and they'll invade Pigeon Forge, and there's nothing wrong with it. Actually, I like it better that way because when you have the events that are up there, they usually charge for them way too much. Two, they limit the amount of people that come in there, and you're basically, if you're a collector and you're bringing your car up there, you're going to be right next to everybody else, and it really doesn't show the car or the truck or the vehicle very well. So I'm really against that. I like it when they have them down in the parking lots in Pigeon Forge and everybody's walking around and everybody can enjoy them. Um, Stanley? Did you get a chance to see that? Excuse me, that video I did with the Jr. Drake from what's the name of that show? Rebel Road.
Yeah, from National Geographic.
From National Geographic. I got a really good interview with him the other day. I'm always out getting video. Almost every day I'm shooting one or two videos. Not all of them you guys see. Some of them I don't like. Some of them
So
can
the
come out.
truck that Stanley is working
Right there.
on, yeah, it's the 79 Ford F-250.
Right. Stanley, what are you doing with it? I'm sure you're putting a nice engine in it and getting it all rotted out. I know that.
And he
Looks nice.
polished
The chrome.
mhm.
That'll look sweet, I'm sure, when you get that the way that you like. The problem with having cars like that, you never get them quite right. You want to do more stuff, right? Yeah, I know. I've had enough antique cars to know it's never enough, and then it becomes consuming. Yes, and I enjoy. I enjoyed it. It always kept me broke. Always. Excuse me. I was always buying something new.
Stanley said, I have several cars and trucks, but currently getting 77 F100 ready.
That sounds 77. That's a pretty nice year. That's gonna. What size engine you going to put in that one? If you already haven't put it in. I'm drinking coffee, by the way. And Robin, what are you going to do? I guess tomorrow's work day for you, huh? Oh no, well it is a legal holiday, but you guys still work anyway. I don't think a lot of what's.
Hey, Crisco.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for being patient, my friend. It's been crazy, let me tell you. But at least we're up and going, and we're using my least favorite OS, my least favorite operating system, and that's YouTube Live. It just doesn't make her look real. It makes her pretty, but her hair looks like Natasha from the Adams Family, jet black, and her hair isn't quite jet black. And me, just bald as usual. That's how it is. But yeah, I'm glad you joined us. Just remember, everybody, like and subscribe and all that. Crisco, what happened last night? I was watching your live thing. I was chatting with you, and then all of a sudden, it was gone. And then it automatically, I guess you have it automatically ready to reload and play. And I couldn't get back. I tried getting live, and it was. So I'm assuming you must have had some internet problems because I was having them too up here. The internet. We can send men to the moon, Mars. We've got things going all over the universe. They can't give me a damn signal that doesn't get interrupted or buffered. I'm not right.
Yeah, they're having, Cristo's having a very slow internet too.
Yeah, what's happening? We got all these fancy schmancy phones. These $1,200 phones. Doesn't matter if you have a $10 phone or a $1,200 phone. If you got crappy internet service, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make it any better or any worse. They need to focus on it. I'm a little concerned about the 5G. If you read about the 5G, it can be not healthy for people, and I don't think really the phone companies care about that. They just want you to buy the 5G phones that are coming out. That's basically what they want. If you bought a 5G phone, there's no 5G. It's just not around. It's not out yet. That's like I was telling Marie. People that buy 4K TVs and 8K TVs, I was seeing them the other day. Well, 8K TV, there's no such thing. I mean, granted, it can process 8K if there was 8K. And that's what they don't tell you in the advertisement. We have 8K, and people go, look at my new 8K television. No, even if your television says 4K, you're not getting 4K. At best, you're getting 1080p. Period. That's the best.
Crisco, I'm going to work on Labor Day Monday. He's asking.
Yeah, I don't work anymore. No siree. I hear the shenanigans out there. The raccoons are
The
raccoons are getting crazy. There's probably all 12 of them out there. Once I get this set up the way that we want it set up, I'll be able to take this out there, and you'll be able to see the raccoons playing and the bear coming up on the deck. Rosie was up here today.
Remember? Crisco is asking if we have Labor Day plans.
No, but well, she's working, but I'm not.
Working.
She's working. I'm not. No, I'll be working on this tomorrow. Absolutely. I'm not going to be happy. I don't. YouTube is my friend because YouTube is YouTube, but I'm not happy about their operating system. It isn't the cleanest, and as you can tell, it's not the cleanest. But I have another operating system which really worked nice, crystal clear, and I probably overloaded it.
Robin is asking, what was our supper?
What did we eat?
I had salad.
Oh, she had salad. I had a sandwich. We were running around today. I needed office furniture. Trying to redo the studio. I had to do up here. Right now we're up in the library. We're on the third floor of the library. You can't see much. You can kind of see a little bit, but all around us is the library I built, and it's nicest up here because it's warm for her. She likes it warm. I like it cold. Right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That that's why in the summer I don't usually come up the third floor because it's warm up here. You know, you got to really crank the AC on. But you go down to second level or first level. You go down to the first level. The first level is buried in the side of the mountain. The first half of the house is buried in the mountain. So it's always 8 to 10 degrees cooler than up here. And that's where I kind of live down there. I always go down there. She's always, I'm so cold. I'm so chilly.
This goes, I think, is gonna be barbecue.
No, if she's going to work, I'm not going to barbecue. Usually, I do a lot of outside work like I've been doing. Like I told you the other day, Crisco, I stained all the decks, the upper and lower decks, stained them, and now I've got to work on painting the trim and getting everything, the doors done, all the windows, the shutters, and all that. And I do it myself. I enjoy doing it. It gives me a personal satisfaction, and I like doing that stuff. She thinks I'm crazy, and I just think it's normal for me because that's what I've always done. I don't want to change my lifestyle just because I'm older. I'm not, I really don't. I enjoy what I'm doing.
Do you have any plans, Frisco, for Labor Day?
Yeah, what are you doing? Now, I could assume you're going to have a fire, my friend, and you're probably going to cook some fish, or are you going to cook burgers and dogs? Because it is Labor Day. You got to do that. Same thing with you, Robin, and,
Inez.
oh, Inez is there too. Hi, Inez. I didn't know she was there.
I'm sure that she's watching with Robin.
And Stanley too. What are you going to do for Labor Day? There's a lot to do in this area. If you're all in this area, there's a lot to do. And even Crisco by you, there's got to be something going on Labor Day. I mean, it's Monday. Banks are all closed. Any government offices, they're all closed. So you can kind of wander around and not be too encumbered by traffic. 'Cause Monday, most of the people here are going to be gone. Most, they're packing up. Today was like their big party day because a lot of them were heading up to Gatlinburg and up to the Smoky Mountain National Forest, and that's where they kind of they all go and do their barbecue and stuff. To me, it's just another day. Really, yeah. It's just
And I'm not used to the holidays either.
no. Well, she's not. I we don't usually celebrate a lot of holidays. We like Christmas. Easter, not a big deal. What else don't we? Oh, New Year's, we don't drink, so it's like I'm not into it. Not much. Thanksgiving, we like Thanksgiving because I like to cook, and so she's usually doing something. So I usually cook something. It's not always turkey either. Um, how many of you like Italian food? Crisco, do you like Italian food? Stanley, you like Italian food? Robin, you like Italian food? Inez, you like Italian food? I love to cook Italian food, and I'm pretty good at it because my grandmother would beat me if I didn't cook it properly.
This food, he likes Italian food.
Yeah, I don't know many people that don't like Italian food. I've run into a few people in my lifetime that do not like Italian food. I disowned them as friends and as relatives, and I don't speak to them anymore.
I like Italian food.
You like anything that doesn't eat you first.
Your garlic pasta.
Garlic, one of the most simplest dishes on the planet to make, but you should try this out. Crisco, you should try this out if you like pasta. Now, anyone else, Inez and Robin and Stanley, if you just like pasta, you get fresh garlic. Not, please, don't get the powdered stuff because that's an insult to me, my grandmother, and my heritage. You get real garlic, you dice it up, real simple to do. You take a whole clove, like the size of your fist, and you cut it up and dice it up. Olive oil, not vegetable oil. The vegetable oil makes the taste of garlic not good. Use olive oil. You heat up your olive oil, put the garlic in there. Garlic should only be golden brown, not golden black. here. I know when dinner's ready, when the smoke alarm goes off, it's time to eat here at the Casa de Crazy. I digress. Let me go back. After you get that nice and brown, you pull it aside. You just get it off to the side. You make a bowl of pasta, any type of pasta you enjoy. Doesn't matter what it is. And after you get it boiled and stuff, then you pour that olive oil with garlic. You can put salt and pepper in that if you want, and mix it all up. And she loves that. It is good. It is tasty. It is a quick, super quick and cheap meal. If anybody, whoever is out there, if you're on a budget, really easy, quick, and cheap to do.
All right. Crystal's asking if we are going to try to go live every Sunday night.
Yes, yeah, and maybe more. This was a trial. That's
What do you
why
mean more?
more. I'm gonna strap a camera to my ass, and I'm gonna wherever I go, you're gonna go with me. No, there'll be daytimes. I will go. I will do some daytime stuff. Yes, Sunday night, and if it gets more popular, especially after what we're up to in the near future, I think it will. And yeah, I have no problem with this because once I get past the technical aspect of this, it's really just sitting there and talking to you, right? The best part,
Crisco join us on FaceTime. Right?
yeah, the FaceTime.
FaceTime when you got all the old
Oh, no, I know what
leftovers.
you're talking. What I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give away too much because I know the copycats are out there. I, I'm being cryptic for a reason, Crisco. I think you understand why, and everyone else there. There are other people who watch and listen, and as soon as I run my mouth, which I have a very open mouth and I say what's on my mind, they kind of go off and repeat what I'm doing. They copy what I'm doing, and I don't like that because I want to be the first. I don't care if everyone else is second, third, fourth. I don't have a problem with that. I want to be first, and we will be first of what we're up to. Promise you that. So I really want you guys to be in live here. I really do, and that's my goal. Is that everybody, almost everybody, because when you start getting 400 and 500 people like you do, Crisco, you get quite a few people on your live shows at night.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you won't be able to get them all live, but you can rotate them, and you can put them in a list. And I can tell you how to do that. You can put them in a list, and they can rotate every X amount of minutes. You decide how long they want to talk, how long you let them talk, and the list keeps changing, and the cameras keep changing, and that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It'd be nice to be able to see you guys, not just I like going to your websites. I like going
Crystal
to your
don't say
channel. No, I can't say anything else because no one else is going to figure it out. No, no one else. Uh, I have this advantage, and I want to make it. I want to be able to tell you this, but I don't want you to think that I'm doing it to brag. And I just want
no,
to
it's
what?
we're live.
Yeah, but I want to share certain things why I do what I'm doing. On one of the videos, I'll just keep it to the videos that I did before, and you watched them. I know you did. You complimented on them, and I appreciate that very, very much. I've been in this business, the television and radio business, for over 35 years. That was what I did for a living. I had two TV shows in Florida, and that I didn't tell you that. I had two television shows that were on Channel 9. The Great Outdoors Florida Edition and Dockside Dining the Florida Edition. And I had a coast to coast radio show for over 15 years from St. Petersburg to Orlando, Radio Chaos, where great news, information, sports, and fun come completely out of chaos. It was a very popular show, according to Arbitron, which is the gauge of radio announcers. Any quarter hour, any time in the drive time day for 15 years, I had 2.2 million listeners on the radio, coast to coast. So I have an advantage over, and it's not, yeah, okay, pat myself on the back. It's a long time ago. It's ancient history. But what I was trying to get at is that in all those years of doing what I did, I learned a lot of stuff. from some very big people, and they taught me a lot of tricks of the trade that nobody around here knows. Very few people know unless they were in broadcasting. And I'm willing to help you guys in that camera right there. Anybody who wants help, information, I'll share what I feel I want to share. I don't give away a lot of trade secrets because they're things that make me different, but I will help you. You have an editing problem, you have a technical problem. I dig until I find the problem. I don't like letting something beat me, especially if it doesn't have opposing thumbs. You know, laptops and computers, they don't have thumbs, they don't think. They think for you. So I don't let them tackle me. And I'm not afraid of them because for years, and when she met me, it's when I owned two radio stations. I didn't tell them that. What do they say?
Nothing.
Okay. Anyway, I'd owned two radio stations, and that's where she met me. Just a little earlier. So I had to run these places myself, and it was a lot of work. A lot of work. I did all the engineering. I did all the FCC reports, and she was there. She saw how crazy I got sometimes because I was running back and forth from radio station to radio station, doing a lot of the production work and doing all the engineering and stuff. I learned a lot. So I'm willing to tackle anything. I'm not afraid of a laptop. I'm not afraid of a camera and a microphone. But you have a problem, let me know. Uh, Usually I can figure it out and I'll help you. Don't be afraid to ask me because I love to teach people because someone taught me and someone taught them and someone taught them and them and them. You don't just pick up this stuff. It just doesn't happen. Somebody's got to kind of be kind enough to show you. And I have no problem showing you guys anything at all. Well, you know what I mean. Technically, I don't have a problem. Or storyboarding. When I do a video, I storyboard my video. Probably you don't know what that is. Maybe if you do, good, smart. Storyboarding is preparing your video with either little cartoons or write down an outline. And you should have an entrance, a middle, and an exit to everything you do. And if you look at our videos, there's always an entrance, a middle, of content, and then an exit. And a lot of people don't do that. It's because no one taught them. So I have no problem telling you, you know. And what I like is I've got several comments from people who said you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. Okay, yeah, you're right, and I corrected it because I'm not new to TV, radio, videos, documentaries, and all that stuff. I'm new to YouTube because it's different. So I haven't figured out all of the silliness of YouTube yet. And I ask people for help all the time. Some people are very kind to give me help, but some people, just some people.
I can stay too long. Wife
Okay, who's that?
Needs me. I just want to say I really enjoy your channel. Looking forward to all the good bits to come.
And that is?
Crisco.
Hi, Crisco. The wife needs you. It's good to be needed, isn't it? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yes, we will be on next Sunday, and it'll be at 8 o'clock. I promise it'll be at 8 o'clock. Got some things to work out. I got a whole week to do it. It'll all be worked out by then. So, yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate that. You have a good week, or I'm sure we'll be chatting in between. We always do. And say hello to Bocephus and Mimi. Those are Crisco's new goats. He's got new goats. Crisco, what happened with your crop? You haven't said anything the last few days about your crop. Watermelons or pumpkins? I forgot now. I know it's a gourd of some sort. Was it the watermelons or the pumpkins? We'll text.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens. I don't run out of air. And that's good. Especially because if I stop talking, this one here doesn't say anything. She just looks down at the thing.
Please have a great night.
You too. I was really interested to see if his watermelons or his pumpkins are okay. He was having problems because the heat was hurting his crop, and then they got that nasty rain in Louisiana because that's where Crisco is in Louisiana, and They got hit with some bad weather, and I feel bad for them. Sorry for that. I hope his crop comes through. At least his goats, they survived. They look healthy. They're cute. You get a chance. Crisco's Country Life.
He said the pumpkins are not doing too good.
Oh, they are pumpkins. I know you were counting on a few of them, and I'm sorry about that. The weather hasn't been very kind to us. Uh,
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins. They look nice. The one you showed, there was a baby pumpkin there. It looked healthy, but you got a lot of water, and they can't take a lot of water. It's just not good for them to grow. I don't know. Next year, there's another year, my friend.
Pumpkins are like a squash.
It's a gourd.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
squashy
So,
gourd. It's part of the gourd family, and
okay.
and they're good to eat too. That's why I don't understand. A lot of people they buy pumpkins, they cut them open, they throw out all the guts, they cut a jack o' lantern into it, and then they throw it out. You ever think of making pumpkin pie, pumpkin pudding, pumpkin butter? Nothing like good pumpkin pie, real good pumpkin pie. A lot of people do it the next month or two. They're making lots of pumpkin pie.
What's that? You can have them like a vine on with a trellis.
Oh no, no, they're on the ground. They grow
Oh,
on the
they are on the
ground,
ground.
but they're vine vegetable fruit gourd, and no, you can't hang them up. They're too heavy. They got to be on the ground. That's why if the ground is saturated or muddy, and correct me if I'm wrong, Krista, it rots the pumpkin or it rots the watermelon. It
Mhm.
can't be on in swampy, watery air. It's got to be on highway. Maybe next year, what you could do, Crisco, is get some dirt and build up that area that you're growing your pumpkins on. Even if you build it up 6 inches, 8 inches, it's 6 inches, 8 inches higher than it was this year, right?
Mhm.
Not that it's going to stop a flood, but you know what I mean. At least maybe it won't get so wet down there. Or you can grow them in a pot. What else is good? You have any questions for us? Want to ask us anything? You want to ask? Actually, you want to ask Marie something? Give me a break. She's way too quiet.
I have a question on Stanley. Is he
But talk to the microphone. Don't talk to me. You got. I'm not. I'm over here. Stanley is over there.
Crisco, are you coming over
Crisco or Stanley?
Crisco and Stanley?
Okay.
Are they coming over here in Pigeon Forge or is Stanley is from Pigeon
Yeah,
Forge?
he's in the area, but Crisco's in Louisiana. I don't think Crisco's coming up right now. I know you mentioned Crisco if he's still there, but if not, he'll be able to see this later. He was planning on coming up. Him and his wife were going to be coming up. When I'm not sure, but always, if you're in the area, get in touch with me. I'll meet with you. We'll have a cup of coffee and we'll sit down and chit chat. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'd like to do that. I always like to meet fresh minds, people that are interesting, and people that can share, good times, good information back and forth, and that's fun. I find that that's interesting to me. That's a good conversation is finding somebody who engages me academically or just having a good conversation.
Yeah.
Not,
We like to meet Stanley too in
yeah,
case
Stanley. Anytime you want to get together, just let me know. Just you can email me or you can just actually just text me. You always have the phone somewhere nearby. But at least we got it on the air tonight. Oh, it was very stressful for me. But I'm glad we got up now. But I don't. I really hope that next Sunday the look is a little bit better because I'm really not happy with the look. It's a little too dark for me. And well, when we get more key lighting, we'll see. But see, that makes her look too white. That's not good at all. Not good at all. I just ran stuff up as quick as I could just to give it a little more of a warm look to it. And I kept the boom. I mean, I had the whole studio struck and ready to go. I had the boom mic right up here. I made sure it kept it out of the view of you guys, but it picks up the information. And then the thing decides to get silly. It got silly. So, what questions might you have for us? You can ask us just about anything. I'm not saying I'm going to answer everything, but you can ask us just about anything you want to ask us. If you're looking for good coffee, I should have brought this up. If you like good coffee, um, I guess this last week I was drinking Maxwell Mouse, and it's a little bitter. Maxwell House is just a little bit. It's not the best Colombian coffee, but for a while I've been using, and I've never been a fan of Folgers, but Folgers Black Silk. If you're a coffee drinker, try the Folgers Black Silk. Really smooth, dark, rich, bold coffee. You, but
I will. I'm thirsty.
I'll go get something to drink. Go right ahead.
I'll be back.
Of course you will. She'll be back. Ah, there. So here we are. Once again, I apologize for being late and not being on time with the show. That stressed me out. I mean, 2 minutes to 8, and then excuse me, and then it goes crazy on me. And Marie can tell you, I was frantic trying to get this thing back on, and I had to absolutely uninstall a whole bunch of stuff that I had just spent the last 2 to 3 days installing, and everything was humming along. And as soon as I fired it up, I get a feeling the laptop can't handle it. The program might be able to handle it because I checked into the program and it can handle quite a bit of stuff, but I don't think the laptop, even though it's a terabyte, and it's got 1 gig, the hard drive is 1 gig and it's got 1 terabyte of space. I don't know. Maybe I just loaded. I got a lot of stuff on here, a lot of stuff that I do. I guess if I strip the computer down completely and just leave the bare necessities just for doing streaming, because I don't use this for anything else but streaming. There's really not much else to use it for.
By the way, Crisco, the banquet. What is that? He was eating
The meatloaf?
the meatloaf.
Yeah, those are good. Those are
Yeah.
actually very good. You can, I don't know, Crisco, do you have a Dollar Tree there by you?
Probably.
Dollar Tree, if they have their refrigerated section, they have a lot of stuff in there that you can get really inexpensive some of the names you don't even
They are
find.
delicious.
Yeah, they're not bad at all. There's some
No.
good stuff in there. You got to investigate if you have a Dollar Tree. I know you got a Dollar General because you mentioned that. You go to Dollar General, and they have a refrigerated freezer section. You just got to kind of rummage around.
Yeah, we gotta go there and try what he tried.
Yeah, just what you need. She wants spaghetti. She wants.
And I want to mention to you, the raccoons are peeking on the door.
They come in. The raccoons come to the door, and if you open the curtain on the door, there's 8, 10, 12 all staring at you. You open the door, and there's these little masked marauders looking at you in the door. And like I said, once I get everything all working, I'll be able to be mobile with you. And that was one of my goals, was to take it mobile so we can go outside and sit and talk. And it's nice out there. And I don't know, uh, Crisco, was it cool by your house last night in Louisiana? I know it's warm there, but the last couple 3 days here, and there's Inez and Robin and Stanley and stuff. You have to admit, last night and last couple of days at night were beautiful. They were down in the 60s at night. That's my kind of weather. I really enjoy going outside. That's why we moved up here. I had to get away from that Florida heat. That heat was killing me. It's stiflingly hot in Florida at this time of the year. Never go on vacation to Florida anywhere from July, August, and September. Don't. That's why they're so cheap to go down there, because it's so darn hot and humid. You can't. Remember, we went to what, Epcot, or was it Disney that one summer, and I almost died. It was August when we went to Epcot. It was just
probably Epcot when we Road soaring.
Soaring. Yeah, that was a cool ride. If you ever get a chance to go to Epcot, in there they have a ride called Soaring, like you're soaring like an eagle. Really fun ride. It doesn't really go anywhere. It 360 video, but the apparatus that you sit in moves up a bit, and it leans and it tilts, and there's air that's blown on you, and it takes you through different scenic places. One minute you'll be flying over the Alps, and you'll go through Switzerland and Germany. Then the next thing you know, you're in Japan, flying over some of their places, and actually it swoops down in and around apple orchards and stuff. Very effective, because when it leans, so does the thing that you're in. So if it's going right, the thing you're sitting in goes right, and if it dips down, you dip down. And like in the apple orchard, you smelled apples. They put a smell of apple in the air. It went over the ocean, and you could clearly smell salt in the air. The one that I liked is when they went. You were on a river, and you could smell kind of a damp water, and you were flying really low. And after a couple of seconds, it had turned into a waterfall. So you were flying low, and then all of a sudden, wham! There was this waterfall, and it passes under you, and you've got 1,000 or 2 feet underneath your feet. You really felt that experience. And at that point, there was like you were so close to the waterfall, they actually blew mist on you. So you felt, remember that? It blew mist on you, and there was that smell of water. It was really well done. It was a trip. We went on it. I went on a couple of times. I think you went on too, didn't you? 3 times. 3 times. I forget how many, but I could have done that all. I could have forget. No, other thing I liked, I could have gone on that all day, but I liked that 65 mile an hour drive. What was that called? Racetrack?
The racetrack.
Racetrack at Epcot. You get in a car. Now you don't drive it, but it's a car, but you don't get to drive it. But it takes you up to 65 miles an hour on hairpin turns and neck-breaking stops and takeoffs and buses passing in front of you. And you're really moving. This car is really going 65 miles an hour.
I don't like the spaceship.
No, I got sick on that. We went on a ride. What was it called? Mars.
Going to Mars.
Something like that. We were both getting ready to get sick in that thing. They close you up in this little capsule, and it goes up and down and jerks you around, and it's oh god, I'm getting sick. I was ready. That it 1 more minute, actually 10 more seconds, and that would have been lunch. Would have been all over the place. That wouldn't have been a pretty sight at all. Not for Marie either. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where else you guys go? What else you doing? Chat. I'm getting tired of talking. I like to talk because I got paid to do that. 15 years of talking. No, I don't miss radio. Not at all. I spent many years doing that. No.
Ask Stanley what is he going to do on Thursday.
You could do that. I don't have to be the go-between you and Stanley. Stanley, what are you doing for Labor Day? Chat it in there. I wonder if I can increase that. I'm gonna have to try to increase the chat room where I can read it from this distance, because I like this distance. What are you doing for Labor Day, Stanley? Excuse me. What's Inez doing for Labor Day? She's still there?
No.
No. Robin there?
No, they have to go to work.
Oh, that's right. What time is it anyway?
10.
Oh, we're supposed to be sounding off. Stanley, still with? He's still there?
Yes.
Okay. What are you gonna do tomorrow? I'm just gonna stay around here. I'm probably gonna work around here. I got a lot to do here. I really got to get this stuff done. I kind of split up my day. I work outside. I come inside. Um, I do stuff around the house. I work around. We both split the housework here. We just whenever something needs to be done, we do it. You know, I'll do laundry. She irons it. I wash it, and we got. I mean, it's just the two of us here. But I'm not going to sleep well tonight. I'll tell you that because this is bothering me. It's bothering me that I had to actually give in and go to YouTube Live, something that I really was dead against going to YouTube Live because it's the
What are you
color.
gonna
I'm going back to that other program.
oh
I'm going to
my
reinstall
goodness.
everything into. You can't imagine how much editing work I did just for this show today, and it was all set. I had one more transition to load, and everything would have been done. Hotkeys, I had all the hotkeys ready, and I strike up that boom, and that was it.
Probably it's froze.
I don't.
Wow.
I could have overloaded the computer or I overloaded the program, but one of the two things didn't like what I did, and it worked fine the other day. I said, well, I need to add a few more things. I'm never happy. Always, you always take it to the limit as best as you can without getting hurt. That's how you discover what you got. If you're worth your metal. No, it's not warm up here now. It's nice and comfortable.
To you, yeah.
Yeah, she's
I feel cold.
already. It's comfortable up here now. I can
Oh,
do it. Got the fan, it's nice and comfortable. I'm sure it's cool outside right now. I'm sure it's perfect for me. Nice warm cup of coffee, and the raccoons climbing all over me.
yeah. I need a pillow.
If you need a pillow, and you probably should really have your sweater when you come up here if you're getting chilly, because you do get chilly really easily. Because she's not from this country, so she's used to the subtropical weather, and I'm not. I love the cool. Even when it's winter, I'll go out in a t-shirt and shorts. It doesn't really bother me much. If it's a blustery, blistery kind of wind that's going through, yeah, I feel that. But if it's a normal cold, even if it's snow, I'll go out and work in a t-shirt. I don't have a problem with that at all. Because I was raised in New York. Uh, I was born where it was cold. So, what else?
Um, say hi to Frisco.
He's still here?
Yeah.
All right, Chris, I thought you said you were leaving. Otherwise, I would have talked to you. You need to give proper information. Crisco, what are you going to do for tomorrow's Labor Day? Are you going to have your barbecue? I know you love to barbecue.
Yeah, he did said that
Yeah,
he's
I
gonna
saw
do
your
it.
hot dogs today. You had your, I think you had. I saw hot dogs. It looked like a burger or something on the steak or the skewer that you had there. I didn't get a good picture of that. But good, do that. Have fun. You know, because this is like the traditional end of summer. You know, Labor Day's the end, and normally the kids will be back in school. But who knows if they're ever going to go back to school? Who knows what's going to go on? I just, I don't, I've noticed, Stanley, you tell me the same thing. You notice that not many people are wearing masks anymore. You know, I think people are about fed up with this nonsense because it's way too controlling, and we're Americans, and we don't like when people tell us what to do. Especially me. Always question authority, always. And I just have, it's just something that's been eating me in the back of my mind. Something was, and I've told her this too, something very nefarious about this whole pandemic nonsense. So I have my doubts. I know there was one. I know there is a problem, and I know people get sick, and I know people die. So do people die from the flu. More people die from the flu. Just look at the statistics. You can Google it. It's very simple. And you'll see that more of them die, and we didn't do jack for them. But all of a sudden, because a certain political group says this is what happened, I have a problem with this. You know, because it just isn't what they say. And you know it, and I know it, and I think all the Americans know it. which is a lot of people are afraid to do anything because it's not in to resist. Oh, stop it. What do they say? Ask a question. Crisco, I ask you questions all the time, or you ask me and I answer. You ask me some questions. Are you thinking Stanley or Crisco? You first of all, Stanley, you going to go live? Are you going to go? I would watch, especially if you showed me like a tour of your truck and explain what you're doing to it. I would do that. I like that stuff. I used to rebuild my antique cars. I've had a lot. I'll dig out some of my pictures of my antique cars. I had a lot of antique cars, and I rebuilt them ground up and by myself. And I enjoyed doing that. I was really young back then doing that. But yeah, I wish they had YouTube back then. I would have done a tutorial on that. I would have really enjoyed doing that, but they didn't. And YouTube didn't come into what 2005, so it's way after I had grown up. It hasn't been around. YouTube hasn't been around all that long, and people just think they fail to. I guess a lot of younger people think it's always been here, but it hasn't. Digital phones haven't been here for what 8, 10 years at most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that, we had analog phones, and they didn't work worth a damn. I remember when I first bought my first radio station, I had a bag phone. You remember that? Do you remember the bag phones?
Mm-hmm.
No? And a bag phone. Crisco, do you remember what a bag phone is? It kind of sound. It is what it sounds like. It's in a bag. It's a phone that was in a shoulder carrying bag. It looked like a man purse, and you opened up the flap and you took out this kind of like almost an army phone. You pull out this phone. It looked like a regular phone, and it had the keypad green. You punched it, but you had to have this big thing that was the processor, and it was analog, and it didn't. It conked out more than it worked because they had very few cell towers, very very few cell towers, and that was back 2003 and four. I remember that, and they worked. They didn't work worth a damn, and you had to put the antenna because built into the bag phone was this 12, I think it was 12 foot, maybe 15 foot antenna with a magnet on it. So you had to run it out your window, stick it on the roof of your car. It looks so stupid.
We got a new Brad Lucas.
Brad, a super shout out to you. Super shout out. Thank you. You'll know what we mean on next Sunday, hopefully. The super shout outs are coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Like and subscribe. You made
Yeah,
my day.
he's been enjoying the video.
Very good. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Brad, where are you from?
Oh, from Ohio.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We are frequently in the area from Ohio.
Thank you, Ohioites. It's probably getting cold up there now, isn't it? Probably. You're probably down in the 50s at night now. And in the daytime, what, 65, 75 degrees? It's cold. Because up in New York, it's getting pretty chilly. So I mean, we're approaching that time. We're in September. The leaves will start. Oh, I love when the leaves change. Brad, you've been up here for a while. Isn't the fall absolutely stunning up here? Yeah, I know. That to me, that's one of the nicest times. It's the nicest time of the year. Dee 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 dee. Fall. I love fall. It's so pretty up here in the Smoky Mountains, and I often drive around. While she's at work, I just drive all over the place and shoot video as much as I can. I have to get a 128 megabit um, SD card because I burn them up so fast. I got to keep them handy because I'm always shooting video. Like I said earlier, I don't always show you what I shoot. I just shoot it to shoot it, and if it's worthy of you guys, and it's got to be worthy of you guys. If it bores me, it's surely going to bore you. But sometimes your mind's eye, you look around and you think you're seeing something. You go, that may be nice, but then when you throw it on the computer screen. It didn't look like your eyes see it.
So they are Brad and the family
Hmm.
probably. They are normally down here during summer.
Good. That's excellent. That's very smart. Very smart. Do you stay for the fall, or do you leave before the leaves decide to change? And Crisco, you really need Crisco. Crisco's Country Life. Please go to his site, like and subscribe. He's a great guy. I like him a lot. And who else? Stanley. You go to what's Stanley's site? I
It's
can't.
Sandy Speed.
Stanley Speed. Go to Stanley Speed and like and subscribe. These are good people, and obviously, we get along and we're on each other's channel, and making each other grow or helping each other grow is a big deal to me. Helping the next guy get one more subscriber is such a big deal to me because there's so many people clawing, kicking, and scratching just to get people to look.
Yeah, Brad and the family is hoping to move to Maryville
Oh, good for you.
in the next 2 to 3 years.
Good for you. Good for you. Yes, being you've been here, you already know how cool it is here. So it's how you can't find it. And being you're up from Ohio, there's some mountains up there, and there's some really nice scenery. Same thing with New York, but there's nothing like the Smoky Mountains. And I've been coming down here since 1974, and every time I pass through or stop in, I was absolutely shocked at how beautiful this place is. And this is the area that we're in is really close to everything that's cool for me. We got the National Forest not far. Cades Cove is just up
Hmm.
the street. Townsend's not far. If we want to go to Knoxville, Knoxville's not too far away. So this is kind of like why I picked this area because of its location to everything that I wanted to be near. And she knows how much um, research I did before we picked where we are because it was really important that it had to be low on crime, had to be good on schools, had to have a good medium income. It had a median income. It had to have the amenities. It had to have a growing number. I looked for the stats that it showed that um, growth was predicted for at least 5 to 10 years, and it's important that you look that up to make sure that they're putting infrastructure in and they're keeping it going. And you go to a 5 or 10 year cycle, and you can look all that stuff up.
Brad, do you have your family down here in Maryville? Brad,
Well, give him a chance to type. He can't talk. These are the limitations at the moment for us doing these live streams. Shortly, they're not going to be. I promise you that.
oh, they like Seymour too.
Seymour too. Yeah, that's up the other way. They're all nice area, and they're all kind of centrally located. All of those places. You just the best thing is investigate, investigate, investigate before you make a decision.
If you don't mind, Brad, what do you do? What is your job?
A bank robber. No, holy kidding. I rob banks for a living. Ah, how nice. An investor. That's a lot of work down here, guys. Crisco, Brad,
Yes,
Stanley.
there's a lot of work.
You know that there's a lot of work here. There's no want for work. No matter where you are, if there's not employment, there is always. We've been here almost 5 years. There's always somebody looking for work here. It's amazing, and people want to hire you everywhere. What you come up with?
They are mainly vacationing for now.
Hmm.
They are. Oh, he's an IT worker.
Oh, cool. So you really could work from anywhere you want.
Everywhere, anywhere.
Oh, well, there you go. You don't have to even look for a job. I mean, you can look for a job, but you don't have to like go
And
outside to
then
look for
an
it.
IT worker can work at home.
Yes, we met an IT worker today when I was looking at office furniture. Just ran into each other. I like to talk to people, no matter where. She gets really embarrassed, but I'll talk to a perfect stranger, and I'll start discussing things, and that's how you make friends, and hopefully they become subscribers too.
And Brad's wife is a corp. controller.
Comp controller. Very good. Smart. That's good. You
What is
see.
a comp controller?
Ask Brad.
What is a comp controller, Brad?
You talk to me. We got our friends out there. She doesn't quite grasp this reality yet. I so can't wait to see you guys on that screen there. So when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at that camera, and I'm working on it. Okay. I want to be first on the block.
Brad's wife is a comp
Comp control.
controller and you're retired.
I'm retired. Yeah, I'm retired. I retired early. At 55, I retired. After I sold the radio stations, I couldn't wait to get my ass out of Florida. And I mean that. She knows that. She was with me. I said, we're out of here. 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to pack this place up. I'm out of here, with you or without you. And that didn't go over too well. That didn't go over too well. But I 35 years I spent in Florida, and I did not like 35 years. I hated Florida. I did a lot there, had a lot of fun, learned a lot there, and did well for myself. But I couldn't take the heat, especially the heat, the rain, the lightning.
Yeah,
2,000 strikes.
you cannot take the heat. That's the reason why we moved down
Oh, that's
here.
one of the things I start
Up here,
shaking.
down here.
No, 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 no. No, I can't. Even when it gets hot out here, I got to be really careful when I go out because I get flare ups, and as you know, I have progressive MS, and I can't take heat or stress. And heat is the worst of them all. Stress, I can handle a lot of stress, but heat, it conquers me. And I like to go outside. She knows how I do that. I'm always outside. I I like working outside. I really do. I love being outside. I'm not an inside person at all. I am when I have to be, but if I have my druthers, I would rather be outside, and that's why I'll take. When I get this all right, we're going to go outside. You're going to have to wear a coat. You want to go outside? You are going to have to wear a coat because we got nice decks out here with beautiful views. I want to share that with you, where we could just sit back and talk, and it'd be nice if we could look at each other and we could have a conversation and talk about what we did for the day, kind of like what people do back in the old days. Just sure sit on the porch and just jaw for a while. I like to do it, but now we do it with this little one-eyed monster right there, looking at it. That's just there's a little distance that's put between us, and it kind of makes it a little cold, a little sterile. And I prefer to talk to people eye to eye, but I enjoy what we're doing now because otherwise it'd be pretty quiet out here. We wouldn't be talking at all. I'd be arguing with the raccoons because they'd be all over the place. If you check out some of the videos, you'll see the raccoons how they just pile all over. They're really silly little animals. Brad, when you were up here, do you ever see bear up here too? Being this place is littered with bear.
Yeah.
And Crisco, you mentioned that you have bear, but you don't see them at your place there. Probably because you're not close enough to any mountains and stuff. They don't like to go to flatlands. Bear are not good for it. Now, so in the swamps, there's those little brown bears that you guys got. They kind of like hiding out in the swamps and stuff. They're
And
interesting.
Stanley, being you're from here, we can meet up on sometime on Red Run.
Yeah, just coming up next week. I will be out there. Look for me. You know what I look like. I know what you look like. And I will be videotaping. I will be doing lots of videotaping. I promise I'm going to have some really super good stuff. I've got some plans. And I enjoy it.
And
It's a challenge to make good
Brad's
video.
seen bears because they've been coming here for vacation.
Yeah, isn't it cool? You know, remember your first sighting of a bear? Wasn't that cool? Because it's a thrill. It's a thrill when you see them, and they're everywhere. Just people don't look enough. They're there in this area, especially on the Smoky Mountains. They are everywhere. And they're sneaky, right? They come up on our deck all the time. Rosie Bear and Rodney Bear and stray
Just
ones.
the other day, you were changing the oil of the car.
I was doing day before yesterday.
Yes.
I was changing the oil on the car, and I went inside because I had the car up, and I'm draining the oil out of the pan. And I said, well, it's got to drain. I let it drain for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I went inside. So I'm going to get some coffee, get a drink of water, and I come out, and I go, why is my gallon of oil on its side? I just put, I buy a gallon of the synthetic oil, and it was on its side. And when I looked a little closer, there was oil going bloop, bloop, bloop. I go, what's happening? And when I got close, I saw there were teeth marks in the gallon of oil. It had been tipped over, and the teeth marks were here, and the oil was glucking out. So I quickly grabbed it, stuck my fingers in the hole, and I go, okay, now what am I going to do? I'm like the boy with the dike. I can't, I got my fingers in all the holes, and one more decides to pop out. So I had to make a decision. So I tilt the thing on the side to minimize the amount of loss of oil, and finally got everything back on so I could pour the oil in. But in the process of doing that, I heard some rummaging because we have a barn shed. I heard some rummaging, and who's in there? Rosie Bear. Rosie's in the shed.
He named her Rosie because she always comes up here.
She always comes up here, and she's fairly friendly. But she had gotten into a box that we were getting ready to send overseas, and in that box had candy in the box. And think of it, this is a shed with the doors closed, but I opened it up just so I could get my tools and stuff out. She smelled that candy, went into that shed and destroyed the box and grabbed the candy, because I saw when I glanced again on outside the shed, I go, why is there Milky Ways? What is going on here? There's Milky Way wrappers, there's Milky Ways, there's Butterfingers. I'm going, where did the candy come from? And there she was in the shed having a ball. So that happens all the time. I'll go outside to
They stay in Sky High Harbor.
Sky Sky Harbor.
We stay in Sky Harbor.
Where's Sky Harbor?
Where is Sky Harbor?
I'm not familiar with that. Is that in Gatlinburg, or is that in Pigeon Forge or Sevierville? Sky High.
And he said there's plenty of bear up there.
Mm-hmm. For the most part, black bears are not aggressive. If you know some of the facts about bears, bears are very shy. They do not like people. The only time that they become aggressive is when tourists start feeding them too much, and then they become acquainted with the smell of humans and the fact that you're giving them a treat if they come near your home. So you're reinforcing the bad behavior.
So Sky Harbor is off the spur.
Oh, okay. I've never. Sky Harbor. It's off the spur. Okay.
Between Forge and Gatlin.
Yeah, between Forge and Gatlin, going up that way. I can't say I've heard of it. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. Sky Harbor. Sounds nice. Sounds cool. You were in a cabin up there?
Did you rent a cabin or you rent a hotel up there?
Because up in that area where you're talking the spurs, a lot of cabins up there. Well, that's the place. Well, it's got the nicest
Oh, he
view.
said that a parent's friend owns a few cabins. That's cool.
Yeah, that's very
cool.
nice. That's nice. Nothing like a cabin. I dreamt for 40 plus years.
But it's a good thing that the parents' friend have a cabin instead of renting one.
Well, if you don't have friends with a cabin, I guess you gotta rent one. Right? You have no
Right,
option.
but you know how it is when it gets expensive.
It does get expensive, and especially up here, things are pricey. You go out to dinner. When you go out to dinner, don't just go there because you think it's going to be good. Do some investigating or read the reviews on these, because some of these places
The
charge.
restaurants. Did you try, Brad? Did you try local goat restaurant? They're always full,
Yeah,
but they have good food.
we've eaten there, and I've had. It's always a kind of more full than when we went there. It was because we always try to go in the off season. We go out to eat, but we try to avoid the touristy places because we've eaten in so many of them, and the food is really average at best. And if I'm going to pay $50, $60 for a meal, it better be darn good. It doesn't have to be 5-star, restaurant food or anything, but at least good. It, when you're
Local goat is not bad to brag about.
no, no, they're good. I can highly recommend that. And if you're looking for pizza, J. Dell's Pizza has the best New York style pizza I've had in this area, and I mean a lot of that, as you can tell. And they do, by the way, have cinnamon nuts.
Oh, he prefers the old meal.
The old
Old
mill.
meal restaurant.
Yeah, when it's not crowded though, Brad. When it's you know how that can get there. That line goes all the way down the street, and with the next couple of weeks, I would stand clear of that
We
place.
have J-Dell's. They have J-Dell's
You had J. Dell's?
In July.
They make the calzone. If you haven't had the calzone, you got to get the sausage roll or the
Yeah,
regular calzone.
he said it was excellent.
Yeah, it was good. Because I've had a lot of pizza here. It's pizza. I didn't click my heels.
Brad, do you have children? Because have they tried the ride from the monster?
The Monster Ride?
They're already working. Just remember it was something in construction.
Yeah, probably when you were here last, or if you were here last year, that was not open yet. They've come along on that really nice. What did he tell me they're opening? Skating rink.
The skating rink.
They're going to be putting next to the Monster in that field area there where that one building that's not built yet. There's going to be a skating rink out there.
So it's skating rink inside, you mean?
The guy didn't clarify that. I would think it would be inside, right? Like the snow,
Like
Pigeon Forge snow.
Pigeon Forge snow.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, but of course in the winter you can keep things cold, but in the summer you can't have ice skating. You can call it shallow swimming at that point. I'm shallow swimming in Pigeon Forge. Crisco, when are you coming up here?
Crisco, let's meet up.
Yeah, when you get up,
I
you
want to
better.
see
Yeah,
Crisco in person.
yeah. You got to come on up and bring Mimi and and Bocephus. Bring the goats. Bo. When are you coming up? You keep talking about it, but you need to get up here. Fall, October is the best time. October 15th through like November 15th or 20th. That is the prime time for the leaves here. Of course, as long as we keep getting rain like this, great. The leaves are going to be vibrant. They're bright, vibrant, and full. Well,
Inez just sent a text message.
yeah.
When you retire, that's what we do.
That's so not me, is it? Retirement, Brad. How old are you? Crisco, what? Are you 42? I think you're 42. You still got a ways to go. How old are you, Brad?
Oh, 40. He's 40 years old.
40 years old. So you're
And-
still pretty young,
And
my
he's
friend.
got 2 teenagers.
2 teens?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So probably they're gonna love the swing.
Oh, they're gonna love the Mount Monster, I'm sure. Have your kids been on Mountain Monster yet? It's an interesting ride.
Yeah, they have the deal that's going on. When you ride the swing, you get free ride of that. Um, the other ride of
The slide down ride, the scary ride.
Yeah, the scary ride,
Yeah,
and the
that's-
other one that uh,
It flips. It's the like a bungee. I don't know what they call it, but
bungee ride.
yeah, bungee ride. I got good video on that, and those girls were scared, but they had a lot of fun. That's not for me. When I was younger, yeah, that was for me. That was for me. But things change. Have you noticed, Brad? Have you noticed, Crisco?
Oh, so her Brad's teenagers are not thrill seekers.
Oh, well, that's okay. Well, then you know what you can do. You can go look. The nice thing is that park that's out front of there. It's free to drive up there, and it's really nicely laid out where you can sit around the water feature, which is a really nice waterfall and pond, and they have sitting area all over, and you could just kind of watch people having thrills. You don't have to buy anything; you just sit there. You want coffee? There's the coffee shop. Don't remember its name. And then there's something 35 there. You know, when it gets late, I can't remember anything. What's that? Junction 35?
Oh, the
The
restaurant.
restaurant. So you can get something to eat there, or you can bring something from J Dell's. That's what I always recommend. Go to J Dell's, get a pizza, sit down on, because the seating they have is these really deep granite seats that go almost completely around the pond and almost around the ride. So you can sit there and just kind of talk with somebody. You can play cards, you can have some coffee, just sit and watch people as they go on the ride. It's really well laid out because it's meant for family atmosphere and be entertained. And then they got the train that she took the other day.
Don't mention it.
Well, it's on the video. If you want to see Marie riding in a train, she's riding in a train. The was the Pearl Express, and it's interesting price for that. Being you have kids with a teenager, they probably don't want to drive in that thing. But it was $5 for kids, but $3 for adults to ride the train. I go, that's an interesting switching of the numbers. But it's a neat. The train sounds like a real train. That's what really made me laugh. That
What they can go to the teenagers. They can go to the severe air.
severe air. Well, they're not thrill seekers.
Severe air.
Well, yeah, they do.
Ninja.
It's ninja obstacle.
Yeah.
It's a
Ninja
ninja obstacle
obstacle.
course. If the kids, whether they're male or female, if they like to be doing things, sport things, that's a really cool place. We were just there yesterday. I think it was
Hmm.
Severe Air, and it looks everyone was having fun. And it was really weird because the kids were all bouncing around having a ball, and then they have this whole row of electric massage chairs. There must have been 15 of them, 10 or 15 lined up, and you could just sit in them and massage. And they had
And I
big
think
chairs.
it's free.
I
It's
think it
free
is.
for parents to sit
Yeah,
there.
and they have a snack bar, or you can just sit around and watch the kids play dodgeball. You guys remember dodgeball? They had basketball, dodgeball, ropes course, chain course, all sorts of cool stuff, and the kids can have a good time.
And then they have the donut that
The mini
uh,
donuts.
they're gonna make it in front of you.
Yeah, they make it like at the carnivals. You know, they make those little things. Yeah, I try to stay away from that stuff. She doesn't, you know, she'll, oh, I need to have that. No, no, we're gonna swell up like a poisoned dog. We keep eating like that, and that ain't gonna happen. I'm too old for that.
It's just me.
Yeah, she likes sweets sometimes, and I'm not. I'm really not into sweets.
Sometimes.
She
Not
gets a hankering for that. I don't often get sweets. Or not. I don't eat candy. I don't like candy at
so,
all.
Brad. They are tentatively
Hmm.
planning on coming on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a nice time up here. And that's pretty much the height of, or in the area of the leaves are really as vibrant as they can be. And Crisco, you need to get up here too. You know, just jump in the car and get up here.
Mhm.
You keep telling me how much you love this place. You really need to get up here.
Message us and Stanley message us. We're on
Hmm.
the 11th on the Red Run.
Yeah, let us know where you're going to be, and I'll make sure we go. I don't know if you're going to be working or not, but
I don't know.
I'll be. I know I'll be there day and night. I'm going to get some serious footage, and I've got a lot of plans for this. I'm just getting started, kids. I'm just getting started. I'm getting back into the swing because I took off 4 years maybe
Mhm.
when we came up here. I didn't want to have anything to do with electronics. I don't want to have anything to do with
Almost 4 years.
almost 4 years. I don't want to do any of this stuff. I needed a break because I've done radio and television for so long. I was burned out. It was just I need a break.
Yeah, and I don't like him. I don't. I hate you when you were working because you're working till wee hours of the
Oh
night.
no, she was there. I would work from crack of dawn till 2, 3 in the morning, and that
Because
was every single day.
yeah, because I was working full time and he's working full
Right.
time.
and we didn't get together much because it's like I'm running. I got these two radio stations. I can't just walk away from them.
It's
That's
just
not.
always work.
Yeah, I've always been a workaholic. It was instilled in me. My Italian heritage. My parents always said, if you want something, go out and work for it because we're not giving it to you. And they meant that too. They weren't, some parents go, I'm not going to buy you that new $1,200 iPhone. And the kid throws it against the wall or something like that. No. My dad said, you want to buy a car when I was 15 going on 16. He says, you want a car? And I was mad because all my rich friends were getting their brand new cars. And he says, you want a car? Go get a job.
Hmm.
And he meant it. He absolutely meant it. And sure, I got mad. Sure, I was angry with him because how dare he? How dare he not go into deep debt so I could have a car that I could beat the hell out of, like those kids did.
Yeah, we
I thank him for that,
yeah,
by the
we're
way.
just gonna mention real quick. Stanley Speed message us or message Jeff if you're gonna come down to, so
Yeah,
we can meet up.
sure. I'm not very far from anything that you decide where you want to meet. I'm not very far at all. And I enjoy the drive. I was usually, you know when I'm coming because I got the suction cups on the car with the cameras on it. I often just drive around. I've got them stuck all over the place, and I'm getting A/B footage for this, and whether I keep it or not, it's just I have it. I got it. You can't go out and get it twice. It's got to be relevant to the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on Brad Lucas. Do you have a channel, Brad Lucas?
You want my phone?
Yeah.
I'm not using it. Even if whoever's out there listening, if you got some other new people and you just haven't joined in, please just join in. Just hit that like button and do hit the subscribe because that helps us because we always look at your stuff and we subscribe back to you. And we do it because not only do we feel good that you got in touch with us and you went to our channel, but we find your channel interesting too. We look at it, we look at what you're about.
Oh, Brad have no channel and he's just a watcher.
Okay, okay. Start a channel if you want. Just do something.
Or he's probably an IT.
It is IT. There's a big market for IT. There's a lot of tutorials are very in and they're very needed. And if you could do a certain service in your whatever it is you do, I think you might actually do well with the channel. There's enough channels that do what I do and do what other people, but um, IT, that's a whole nother story.
He said he's just a watcher. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, Brad.
Thank you for watching.
And keep watching. I promise we'll be on time next week, and
This is our first time.
This is our inaugural voyage of this channel, and I really, excuse me, I really thought it was going to go so much smoother and I should have known. I should have known everything was going too smooth, and usually when that happens, you know what happens? They pull the rug out from under you. So, and I was very happy. I thought, wow, this is amazing. I'm getting the boom set up, the lighting, everything is looking good. It's sounding good. I did some test runs and 2 minutes to 8. No, no. And I always remember that whoever it was that told me, I don't think it was my father, it could have been my grandfather. If it can happen, it will. In Italian, he would say, and if it can happen, it will. And of course, meaning that if something can go wrong, it's going to happen. The chances are very good that it's going to get screwed up. And I should have listened to that voice in my head and said, man, everything is going so smooth. I better do a dry run an hour before, 2 hours before, just instead of doing all the transitions and all the fun stuff that I did, which I still have. I've got all the jump drives here and everything with it all recorded. I will put them on, and hopefully it's entertaining for you because I really, really, really love to do good editing. That's something I excelled at in television and documentaries and all the things that I did, and I had fun doing that because these guys would show me. I was always a pain in the butt. I would always say, "How'd you do that? Well, show me that," and always asking questions, and they would show me, and I would retain that, and I take all that with me, and I use it, and I'll share it with you guys. I don't have a problem with that. I would be love to show you. I have a good time showing somebody something new, and they go, "I didn't know I could do that." Yeah, somebody points it out. It's almost like like when they would do that to me. I didn't see it, but it was right there in front of my face. The button to push and the right thing, the box to drop. It was like, how come I didn't see that before? As soon as you pointed out, it's like angels go, ooh, and the lights shine down from heaven. It's right there. And it says, push this button here for magic. And I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. And I always laugh at the guys. I go, how did you learn? He goes, well, he showed me over there. And how did you? He goes, well, he showed me.
I just want to ask Brad, what
Hmm?
do you do? What is your job, Brad?
You mean in the IT world?
No, no, his wife is an ID controller. What about
No,
her?
no, no. His wife is a comp controller. He's in the
Oh,
IT. You
oh,
need to
okay.
write that down. Her mind is almost as bad as mine. What do you do in IT? Are you a programmer? Are you a designer? I'm not sure what else.
I think found channel originally from the Asian store. Oh, okay. Brad found our channel originally from the Asian store you posted.
Did you go to that place? We go there quite often.
The Asian store, the supermarket
Yeah,
in Knoxville.
yeah.
What do you call it? I forgot.
Sunrise,
Sunrise, Sunrise.
sunrise. Yeah, she forgot. She forgot. She's. You did see her.
Oh,
She's
see,
Asian.
he's I work IT mainly startup.
Oh, oh, so you're right there at the nuts and bolts. That's, I'd like to pick your brain. I bet you've got some interesting things to tell me. I bet you could whip this stuff together with your eyes closed. It's funny when I started out. I don't know how old Brad was. He 42. I think you said you're
Um,
42. You're still kind of young, but I could remember when
no, he's 40 years old.
40 years old. I still can remember the green screens. Do you remember the computer green screens? Yeah, that was pretty basic. What the games we played? Ping pong. Remember Pong? Pong was the game to play, and computers were basic back then, and they had to be programmed, which I'm sure you know that. And I didn't know all that code, and there were some guys that did, and it was to me it was just a little too much. I really didn't want to write code because it was very dull, very time consuming, and it just that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on the production, post production end of things. So I never really got into that, but a couple of my friends did, and they enjoyed it. They were happy with that. But the earlier stuff in the computers, you couldn't do the stuff we can do now when it comes to editing, whether it be audio or visual. And that's why all of a sudden I'm getting more interested in it because where I learned how to do video and audio was in studios. There was no computer program, zero. There were no computer programs out there. So you had to, if you were going to learn your craft or your trade, you had to go and find somebody who was going to let you go into the studio and into a production studio, into an editing suite. And you had to either rent the time or know somebody or get hired there. And I had to really fight hard to learn what I learned because it wasn't just at the flick of a switch of a computer or my laptop. It just wasn't there. There were no laptops. There were no cell phones. The computers were basic at best. And I remember floppies. Do you remember floppy disks? Do you remember the
I remember
8
floppy
and
disk.
16-inch floppies that would go in? It
Hmm.
would look like a record. It would slide in.
I remember floppy disk
Yeah.
back in college.
I still have some. They're up on the shelf. I got the, and they all have good pictures. And I'm sure somewhere you can buy a floppy the
I don't
to be able
program
to
more
move it
on the
over.
big stuff like great stuff. I remember back in
What do you say?
college, he said that I don't program more on the fixed stuff when it breaks side of them.
Okay, so you repair when they go down. That's excellent. That was something I had to learn on my own, and it took a lot of blowing up computers before I figured out. I just don't. It was amazing. I had access to a lot of computers in the radio station, so it was like, because they were always breaking down, nobody would fix them. So, oh, you see what's wrong with this one. You find out after a while, and after a while, they're very consistent with things that go wrong, as you know. And
I heard that they pay a lot of money if you're, the kind of job of Brad. They get paid more
mhm.
at hospitals.
I, there's always a market for your talent because people who repair them, that's a special trade.
Yeah, because
You
hospitals are using
Well,
computers
they're
now.
always using computers, and they're not going to just dip into their budget and go buy a whole new, 400 brand new computers, especially if there's a master computer in my brain that's running them. That you got a good gig there, good gig there. Very smart. So pretty much you can live anywhere and remotely do a lot of stuff if they let you in. That's always the hard part. If they let you in, getting remote access. That that's something I learned how to do long time ago in radio, and my competitors couldn't figure out what I did. I was able to run the radio state. I was able to run my sports station completely. This is when phones were still analog, but they were advanced analog before they went digital. And I was able to run the radio station completely by my Android phone. And I mean completely. I could turn on the mics, turn on the transmitter, turn the transmitter off, change the array of the antennas. I could trigger it to fire commercials, back off my volume. I learned from somebody who was a hacker, and he showed me. He goes, "Here, check this out. You're gonna love this." And some of these hackers, they're real wild-eyed. They go,
He
"Yeah,
said
yeah."
he said it's not horrible, just repetitive.
It's repetitive. Exactly.
Repetitive.
It's very repetitive. And tracing things down. And that's the part that always bored me. It's like, oh god, there you go, go do this and go back to there, open that, close that. That just that's for somebody like you who has the patience for that. I don't have a lot of patience. I don't have a lot of patience with myself. I really beat myself up sometimes because I
Yeah,
expect more out of me.
that's the part where Jeff don't get home yet, and it's already early in the morning, and I was wondering already like,
You think I'm out dancing the fandango with some girls? No, I work, 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 and I have no problem working. And I stay awake. This is my best friend. My keys, my watch, and my cup of coffee. These are my best friends. Yeah, yeah. I love coffee. I really do, and it keeps me awake and it keeps me alert. I don't take drugs. I don't drink alcohol. It's just not my thing. I like being alert. I really do like being alert, and I like driving around. I like doing good video. So my life is good. I got her. Love her very much. She's the best thing that ever happened to
okay,
me.
okay, okay,
No, she hates when I get mushy, 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 mushy. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
okay, okay, that's it.
Okay. She gets embarrassed.
Okay.
Oh. And you notice she never shuts up. She just keeps talking. We do go. Brad, did you go to the Asian store? And Crisco, if you're still with us, have you ever been to an Asian store, an Asian grocery store or supermarket? They are a trip. They're amazing. The one that we went to in Florida, it was called M&D. Remember we used to go to M&D
Mhm.
all the time? That was in Tampa. At M&D, and it was a big grocery store, the size of a Publix, a good size, but nothing in there. You couldn't read the labels on anything. It was pretty much Japanese, Chinese, Korean, um, Indian, Malaysian, Filipino. They had all, but she knew all this stuff. So when I walked in there, it was like another
Okay, in
world.
Columbus, but they are not very nice.
Why not?
He said that the Asian store there are few in Columbus,
Right,
but
but
they
they're
are
not
not
nice.
very nice.
Oh, that's.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Sorry for you. Because Asians are normally very nice people. I have no problem. The one up in Knoxville, they're really nice people there. We shop there a lot. But Crisco, you'd love the fish that are in there. Oh my goodness,
they're
goodness,
alive. Crisco, the fish are alive.
alive. When we went to M&D, they were in tanks. They had walls of these giant aquariums filled with different species of fish from all over the world, and you'd pick out the one you wanted.
Oh,
However,
okay. So Brad said that the quality of food are not nice, but the people are nice. Are
oh,
nice.
okay. Why was the quality of the food? Because the one here in Knoxville is he talking about the one in Knoxville or Columbus?
No, in Columbus.
Okay, because here the meat is the freshest meat I've ever seen. When if you're getting chops or steak or something like that, it you could see the guy carving it off the carcass of the cow or the pig right behind you.
It was
So it's
it was on a
beautiful.
rundown place.
Oh,
So Brad,
sorry.
when you decide to come here on summertime,
You need to go there.
try to check it out. Try to check it
I
out. The
agree.
Knoxville. What
Sunrise
is that?
Market.
Yeah, Sunrise. I forget the name.
Was the Pike, King's Pike.
Kingston Pike.
Kingston Pike. It's right there. Everybody knows where Sunrise is. You Google, it'll take you right to the place. It's really easy to go to. But it's a nice place, fresh food, and they have a lot of unusual foods that you probably have never ever seen before, and fruits from all over the world. Fruits that you wonder, is this thing going to get up and run away? Because there's those hairy fruits that they look like a tribble or something like that. They're just really, but they taste great. All these fruits I've tried. The only one I do not like is durian. That's from your country there. Durian, I don't like it. It's a gigantic, and I'm not exaggerating.
Jackfruit. It's a gigantic
Not
jackfruit.
jackfruit, durian.
Yeah,
It's the
it's like
same.
a the size of a jackfruit.
Yeah, jackfruit is big, but durian, it looks like it's like two swollen two footballs on steroids, and they got little points, pricklies on it. But it's the smelliest fruit in the world. It
But
stinks so bad.
it stinks so bad, but it tastes good.
No, no, I disagree with her on that one. She goes, "Here, taste it. It doesn't taste like it smells. It tastes
Oh,
like it smells."
hi, Dan the Mountain Man.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. And you
He's
already
already
subscribed. Well, I got to tell them that again. I got to tell just in case. I really not do I just want to get to 1,000, but I do want to do a lot more. But I have reasons for this, and I have motives that I want more than just a few. I really want to do good at this because I have plans for her and I. We want
Brad,
to do great.
since you're watching YouTube all the time, check out Dan the Mountain Man, Crisco Country Life,
Hmm.
and Stanley Speed.
Yes,
They have good videos as well.
yes, they do. And if if everything would have worked well tonight instead of this stupid program working now, you would have had their addresses in graphics and everything. It would have been all there for you. But it'll get better. I promise. It's not going to be just like this. I promise you. It's not going to be just. Not
Yeah,
that I'm not having a good time. I expected more out of myself. I really did. I don't expect her to do any of this stuff. She's not a tech head. That's just not what she does. But I am, and I expected more out of myself. So I'm going to
I
discipline
really
myself.
don't feel like I really not feeling what do you call it? Um,
Technical.
no, I mean I really don't feel assured of being on the camera.
She's still nervous about this, but you should have not. We've been doing it for a while. You should be okay with it. Did it
Uh,
bite you yet? Did it bite? It didn't bite you. And look at all the people you're talking to, and they're all nice people. They're all friendly people, and they're not. Nobody's biting you. Nobody's calling you names. I get the feeling she might be worried about somebody not liking something about her, like saying, you're no good or whatever. And you need to thicken up as you know, you're YouTubers. You got to have thick skin in this game because there's a lot of trolls out there, and they say some horrible, horrible things. And you just got to let it roll right off your back because they're just trolls. They belong under a bridge. They don't belong on YouTube.
Dan said I get nervous in the front of the camera still.
Do you? No, I'm surprised. That'll wear off. Look, after a while, you won't even realize it's there. You'll forget sometimes how many times I've got back in the car with the camera still running. I'm driving around, driving to get home. I go, when did I take pictures of my feet? What the hell?
At least Dan could understand what I feel because whenever you do videos, you're
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, Marie,
Oh, I put the camera right in front of her face. I got no problem with that because I always have my gimbal in my. I always have at least a couple of GoPros and a gimbal, and I have all my stuff with me. I always am prepared. And if I see something, I go, "Okay, honey, what do you got to say about yourself? Here we are today, and we're broadcasting live in front of Vinny Boom Botz's Pizzeria. And what do you think of that pizza, sweetheart?" And I got to put my radio voice on, of course. Not when I'm talking to you. When I
and
talk
then
to you, I
at the
just got
end
my
of the
radio voice.
video, you're gonna be like, okay, what are you gonna say?
Oh, the shout out. If you've seen our latest videos, we're doing super shout outs. And you got to put, and you see me doing it. I mean, I learned all this stuff in TV and stuff. You've got to
Yeah,
be animated. So it's a time for a super shout out. You got to do that looking up like you're looking at something. And then I insert all the silliness that goes in there in the editing room, in the editing suite. And she just couldn't grasp that yesterday. We were shooting video, and she had one line to say.
okay. Don't. Did you edit it already?
No, I'm working on this one. I've
Don't
got a
don't
lot of
include
editing to
that
do.
in the
Okay,
video
you'll see the
because
video. But she only had one line to say. That's it. Because she didn't want to be in front of the camera. I said,
it's
honey,
embarrassing. It's
no, it's
embarrassing.
actually very funny. I laughed very hard. But out of all the video, I did hours and hours and hours of video. And I said, all you need is to do one line. That's all I asked, just one
Yeah,
line.
but I keep on telling you there are the couple behind us looking at us.
A couple, and literally she meant couple, two people were looking at her from behind her, not staring at her from face. They were behind her about 50 yards at this place we were at. Excuse me, and that bothered her. You can't, this, guys. You're doing YouTube. All of that peripheral stuff. They're barking dogs, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They just make noise, and you just have to just kind of walk through them and focus on what you're doing. You have a job to do, and your job is to focus
Dan
on that camera.
understands what I'm feeling.
I know, and then you get over it. I promise you will get over it. The more you expose yourself to the camera, you'll become comfortable, and you'll be able to find your groove. And it takes time. I have to admit, I hadn't been in front of the camera in a long time. Um, not just for the 5 years we've been up here. I would say 8 years. I'm comfortable saying I hadn't been in front of the camera for 8 years, and I used to do it every day. I always in front of the camera and behind the microphone everywhere I went, and I got nervous. I actually got nervous when I first turned on I had the GoPro at that time. I turned it on, and I couldn't say anything. I stood there, and all of a sudden my mind went completely blank, and I didn't know what to do. I got into a panic mode at that point, and I go, I've lost my mojo. Then I was thinking of what is his name who did that, Austin Powers. I've lost my mojo, and I felt that way. It was like, oh my goodness, I've done this all my adult life, and I forgot. I don't know what to do. I had to have a talk with myself. I said, sit yourself down, son, and you need to calm down. You need to realize that it's just you and that camera here. And I had to have a real come to Jesus meeting with myself and face the facts that it's harmless. It's you talking to you, to the people about what you hope they enjoy, and I really, and it took a while. I felt my chest pounding, and it made me fearful. Because, and I understand what you're saying, Dan, and Crisco's got it all figured out. He's so mellow. You are a son of a gun. He just, yep, Crisco here, and he's looking around. I love the way his style is so different. It really is, and I like it. I like it because it's so
So,
laid back.
by the way, Dan, the mountain man is. Are you from South Carolina? Because he's got a tour of the Charleston, South Carolina.
No, I'm not from, with this
No,
accent,
him.
I'm not from South
No,
Carolina.
him.
Oh,
Him.
you are? I'll check it out. I want to see the tour. I've been around South Carolina, and it's a pretty state. I do like it. All of these states, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, all of them are really nice. Arkansas. I used to hunt for artifacts. This is back in 1974. That's when I was driving around all the mountains and stuff. And I used to go land between the lakes, Cumberland Lake, Demummers Bay. All the land between the lakes where Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee meet. They all the tri-state area. I used to go in that little tri-state area there, and this is one that was still legal to do before the state came in, the feds came in, and I pick up Indian artifacts by the thousands. I was a big collector back then, not anymore. I was
It's a
bad
good
mojo.
seeing the tour of Charleston.
Oh, Charleston's a really nice city. Really
Yeah.
has real roots in history there. A lot of history, Revolutionary War, Civil War, of course, and later on. But those are the two most popular: is the Revolutionary
Wow.
War,
And
Civil
he
War.
went to the carriage. Did you ride a carriage,
Yeah, I see the Surrey.
Dan?
There's the fringe on the Surrey. You can
Hmm.
see that. That's cool. She loves that carriagey stuff. Yeah, it's neat. There's something about tooling around someplace, especially an historic place like Charleston, in a horse and buggy, because it allows you to back away from today, from current times, and escape and withdraw and imagine yourself in those 1800 the periods when they were doing that. And that I like doing that. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's very rewarding to your soul because it allows you
Hmm.
to escape and get away from your problems or just get away from the hustle and bustle of what today is all about. And
It's a good thing that you did that because
yeah,
even we are here, we feel like we are over there
and that's
watching.
important that you're that video. We're watching it right now, and we get an idea. I already know what it looks like, but she doesn't. She hasn't
I
traveled
don't.
the U.S. and I try to take her. When I first got together with her, I really tried to introduce her to this country more, so that she kind of understood what America's about. Because her idea of America, just like most foreigners, especially Asians that come over, they they think that the streets are paved in gold and they don't have a real sense of reality until you expose them to that and show them that there are poor people here. There's middle class here. There's rich, but it's a mix of people. There's no money on the trees. They've been lied to a lot of the times, and it took a while for her to understand the slang. And that was tough because when I met her, she was still pretty fresh and very tough to understand. She had a very heavy accent.
Well, I always talk with my family. That's
That's
why.
why, and she still does. When she talks to her family, she speaks in her native tongue. Um, and there was a time when I used to speak in my native tongue, and that would be stinking drunk. And that, no, I never was. So
Oh,
stupid.
he
Oh,
live in Western North Carolina, but
that's nice up
he's
there.
I'm just south of Asheville.
Yeah,
Oh wow,
I
you're
love
from
Asheville.
Asheville. I love
That's
Asheville.
one of our favorite cities. I very much like that downtown vibe, that downtown attitude down there.
Yeah, by the college too.
Yeah, by the
I
college, right,
enjoyed that.
right there.
Just
That's
a
really
cup of
good.
coffee
Yeah,
and
we when we go there, we just kind of walk around and hang out. We stay at one of the hotels, and we just fit in. I fit into that. So does she now into that atmosphere because I like a good laid back atmosphere and just sit back, watch the people, say hello to folks and stuff. Um, and what I took her on, I think I shocked her. I took her on the Blue Ridge Mountains as you leave Asheville, and like I said, you want to go see something fun because you can take the highways and they're boring, boring, boring. I said, let's take the Blue Ridge Mountains home. Wow, talk
oh,
about wear out the tires on your car.
and he cooked that
I
pineapple.
like that upside down
My,
pineapple cake.
oh,
There you
I
go.
love the pineapple
Oh yeah,
upside
she's a
down
big
too.
pineapple. I like pineapple too. That's why when we eat pizza, it's always pineapple pizza, Hawaiian.
Oh, you tried the Jollibee Chicken Joy.
Oh, you tried that? She loves Jollibee because where she comes from, that was they didn't have well, they had McDonald's, but everyone went to Jollibee. They didn't go to McDonald's. It was Jollibee's better. Their chicken and their spaghetti. I have now learned how to make Jollibee spaghetti. If you know what I'm talking about, it's different. It's for those of you that have had spaghetti, Italian spaghetti. There's Italian sauce with noodles, and you know what it tastes like. Her culture is more of a sweet sauce on the border of almost cavity sweet and hot dogs in the tomato sauce and the spaghetti. I've had it. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Dan dated a Filipina.
Ah, so you know all about the Filipino food. Filipino food, yeah. Oh, good. How did you like that?
Jollibee is a lot better.
Yeah,
See, I told you.
see, Jollibee is a lot. Their chicken, from what I understand, I haven't had their chicken. From what I understand, it's better than anything we got here. And I've tried to duplicate it, but I can't quite get the recipe down yet. I'm trying. I got the spaghetti down. Right? You love that spaghetti?
Yeah, what do you mean by my street is more copper now? The gold was stolen.
The streets aren't paved in gold anymore. They're paved. They got copper. Yeah, nickel. I know. I know. Did your girlfriend, excuse me, was she right over from the Philippines? And if so, had excuse me, the sinuses with the cold stuff. Was she westernized yet? Had she become indoctrinated to the Western um, party style? This one never has, which I'm thankful for that.
The what now?
The party style. You know, they become westernized like they do sometimes over in your country there, and they start living the crazy, wild
How am
Hollywood
I
life.
gonna be when the family is always like business,
Yeah,
business, business?
her family was very strict with her, and I'm thankful for that. I wish they were all still alive. I could tell them now. Thank you, thank you. Very conservative, extremely conservative girl, very modest.
Bus-
Not what I'm used to.
it's not conservative, Dan. It's just that we focus on business.
Yes, we do. But she's still conservative. She's very modest, and I appreciate that. That's why I love this girl because she's not what I'm used to.
Yeah,
What did he say about that? I'm really
we
interested to
have
know what you
to.
dated and what it was like because I have horror stories that I can tell you about. Yeah.
He said no, he didn't. What was your
She
question?
was she conservative? Was she fresh over the boat?
He said that um oh Brad he said he grew up I grew up best friend was from Thailand. Ah,
That's cool.
Asian.
Asian.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Because it's
Uh,
kind of like the Thailand food and Philippine food are kind of like the same.
there are some. There's a little more spicier than yours. You guys don't have a lot of spicy food.
Yeah, there are regions.
Thailand, the
There
Thai
are
food is good.
regions in the Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that.
not normally because Thai food is. You got to tell them to back off on the spice.
Oh yeah.
They'll kill
I
me.
can eat. I can.
She likes it spicy. I can't have it
Yeah, I can
spicy.
eat chili peppers with
Oh no, I can't do that.
coconut milk.
Yeah,
Isn't it kind of like the Thailand?
got a lot of the coconut milk and everything. And then when she makes the flan, um, and she just made some cassava cake. If you don't know what cassava, it's a root, and you look it up on Google. It's a root, and it's fairly long, maybe 18, 20 inches long, and it has kind of it's a starchy tuber, belongs in the ground, and it's potatoy but sweet, and it has a good flavor when it's cooked. It really is good. When she cooks that down
What
and
is?
mixes the cassava, what you made
Oh
the other
yeah.
day, it's like a pudding. But man, you want to put on some serious weight. You eat a couple of dishes of her cassava cake. It's so good, so sweet. Not too sweet. It's got a lot of calories, but it tastes really, really good. But you don't realize you can. You ever run your hands down a balloon that's got air and go like that? That's what you can hear your belly doing in your butt. Go expanding as you're eating it. So I told her, don't make that anymore. If you do, give it away. You can eat it. I don't really care. Get it out of the house because I can hear it calling me in the refrigerator. It's going, Jeff, you come and eat me up. Come and eat all of me. Don't leave any for
He
Marie.
complains when I make. 'Cause sometimes I make rice cakes.
Mm. And they're good,
Uh,
but they're
Sometimes it's Thailand recipe,
yeah, or
then some
flan.
or
Oh
it's a
my God.
Thailand recipe or sometimes a Philippine recipe.
Mm.
You love it.
I do. The problem is my waistline and my butt doesn't like it.
See, Dan said that he likes ube. I made that before. The purple,
The purple yam.
purple yam.
Yeah. Do you know they got purple yam ice cream? She told me about it, introduced. I didn't know that. It's purple. Purple yam ice cream is purple, and you can get it in any Asian store for the most part. But she brought. She says, "Get me that." I forget what brand it was. She goes, "Oh, get me that purple yam ice cream." I go, "Oh, it's just."
Brad, when you come down here, um, in the summer or whatever, and you stop by at the Asian store, they have that purple yam, but it's a root crop,
Yep.
and you have to cook it from scratch.
Yes. Yes.
But it's good.
It smells good when it's cooking. The only thing I don't like is the fish. When she starts cooking those, the smaller the fish, the stinkier it is. That's
Yeah,
one thing I have learned.
that's one thing that I have a problem though, because the bear's coming up and I cannot
Yeah.
cook fish and
Because she liked going. When we first got here, we didn't have bear problems. You remember that? Because I used to barbecue every day.
yeah, and
I've
then
got a barbecue out there. I am not afraid, but I'm very cautious that if I start cooking a steak or a hamburger or chicken on that barbecue, I'm not going to be alone in 5 minutes. I may be there doing it alone, but I'm not going to be alone because one of the bears is going to be right next to me, and I am not going to fight them for chicken hamburgers. I'm gone. You can
yeah,
color this boy gone.
it's just that one day. Was it one day when you saw it climbing up the stairs? It's the mother bear,
The big one?
the big one that
Oh,
climbed up the stairs,
yes.
climbed up the tree.
Climbing up the tree outside. We got this really large tree outside. I've never seen a bear jump so high as I saw this bear. It had to have jumped 7, 8 feet or more. And I better get my camera because nobody's gonna believe this crap. And that tree, that bear ran up that tree as if it was laying flat. It just whooped right to the top, and then she was swinging in the tree. And I've got it on video, and I haven't edited that down, but it was good. And then
But he
later
was
she started coming down.
coming
She
down.
came down as fast as she went up, and I was a little too close, and I definitely took off because
Yeah,
she
he
was not
ate
happy.
something at the top of the tree.
Yeah, she ate the little little acorns, but they were still green. They weren't mature yet. She was pulling in the branches and biting them, and then when she had enough,
Um,
she just came down that tree, and I was too close. But that wasn't. You didn't see it
was
though.
that or was that the first time or was it the one where it's nighttime where the big bear was at the back of our house?
No, that's
The
just
back
recently.
door.
You mean
The
over
back
here
door.
or there?
Over there.
Yeah.
At nighttime and you said, honey, go open the curtain. There's it's a male bear.
And that's the one that was looking at you in the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know which one.
Picture this: you're looking at the door, and you pull the curtain open. You expect to look down because you're saying bear, like dog or something. Look down, and you are face to face with a 400-pound male, looking right at the glass. You're this close to that bear, and the only thing separating you is a piece of glass, and that's scary. And that happens all the time here at the cabin. All the time. I tell her because she's
Um,
forgetful. She'll just open the door, and that bear is often just sitting there or standing right at the door. And I said, "Don't do that. You look out the door first, then you
you were
unlock it."
outside
Oh, she comes
and
up
the
all the
female.
time.
You're talking about the female bear. She comes up and she don't
She don't
bother
bother me.
you.
Rosie leaves. I know. I've known Rosie since she's been fairly young. She was much smaller, and I used to. I had raised a Wisconsin black bear when I worked for Silver Spring, so I kind of understand what they do and how to. I watch them, and I'm very cognizant of their body language and when things are changing or going south quick. And I tell her sometimes, "Let's get out of here now," because you can sense when something is happening. But Rosie comes up, sits next to me, or walks by me, or just comes up and kind of checks me out. She doesn't bother me because I don't get afraid, and that's the key thing. Because when you give off that vibe, they pick up on that vibe, and then they get aggressive because now you're scared, and this whole thing goes south real fast. So if you run into a bear, just stare at it. It's not going to leap off, eat you up like in a cartoon and use your bones as a toothpick. It doesn't work like that. Grizzlies, sure. Brown bears, sure, sure, sure. That happens.
Brad said that he checked out the video with Gary, the with the goat.
Oh, that was he's a trip. Gary is quite a character, and you liked it.
Yeah, he liked it. He
Yeah.
said, I must go for now. We'll be on the lookout for the next video. Find the boat
Thank you.
car guy again and get it right next time.
Oh, I want to get him before you go. He has a topless hearse and he has a pontoon boat that are all motorized. The hearse has no roof and it has a deck so you can sit in it. And the pontoon boat sits up high. I've seen it before, and it's got an engine in it and it drives all over the place. So yes, I will get videos and you will get to see that very much. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us.
Brad, for
Thank you. I
stopping by.
really appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Is Crisco still with us? Or he's gone too now.
I'm not sure about Frisco.
I think everybody. What time is it? It's probably time to.
11:18.
Yeah. Okay.
Dan is still on, and he said I laughed when I was in the Philippines and seeing sweet corn ice cream.
Oh, I never
Oh,
had
I
sweet
love
corn ice cream.
that. Have you tried mango ice cream? It's good too.
I bet that's. But they make sweet corn ice cream. I bet that's
Mhm.
good. How come you never made that for me? I always, I always trigger her that way. I like that stuff. We discovered mango. What was it? Mango Jello.
Mango Jello at the
Sakura.
Sakura here in Sevierville.
Yes. Oh, is he here? No,
Dan,
Brad's not. Dan, you're here.
Dan.
Check out Sakura. Excellent, excellent Japanese Chinese restaurant. When I say excellent, I wouldn't give them a false. I wouldn't tell you it is when it isn't. It is superb.
Dan, they have crabs. I love the
They
crabs.
just started serving crabs there, and it's all you. It's a buffet. You know, all you can keep down type of stuff. But
I'm just
oh,
reading.
you're reading it. Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday it's $8.95 all you can eat, and then the other days it's $9.95, and holidays it's $10.95. Still cheaper than anybody in the entire Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. And I promise you, the food that they make is hands down better than any restaurant I have been in, and we've been in a lot. It is cooked fresh to not to order, but there and fresh, and variety. There's 60 entrees always on the
Yeah,
buffet
Dan
line.
will check it out.
The crabs are the latest thing. They've only done what for about a week, 2 weeks,
A week.
a week. Oh, crab, shrimp, fresh shrimp, cooked shrimp, all different types of shrimp. All this for $8.95, and the shrimp is
Dan,
always
check
fresh.
out local goat too. I love
Local
that
goat, I know
local
you
goat.
do. I love Sakura over local goat any day. If I was to have a last meal on the planet, it would be from Sakura, not local goat. But I like local goat. And there's some other ones around here that I will check out. But we've been to enough of them where I won't go back. Especially some of the breakfast restaurants. They're not what
And
they
Dan
are.
said, okay, I'll have checked them out the time I'm over there.
Yeah, I think you'll be impressed.
And he said, catch the Santa riding around Gatlinburg.
They got one
When is
right around
that?
here too. Not right
When?
now, but they will. You'll see him around. He drives around. He
Oh,
was here
okay.
last year. We drove by him several times. He would drive by us, I should say. Not by,
Okay. Well, Dan went to local goat already, and he loved it.
you love. Yeah, they're not bad. It's just sometimes they're a little crowded in there, and it's. I'm not into the big crowd scene. Really, I like quiet atmospheres. But there are other good little mom and pop restaurants around here, and I probably I really want to avoid doing the restaurant reviews on YouTube because there's way too many people doing it, and it's to me
And I don't like it either.
no. When we go to eat, we go to eat. It's private for us. It's like when we go to hotels and stuff. It's private for us. It's not. Let me show you everything. It's just that's our private time. That's for us to recharge and be left alone.
Oh,
So
Stanley have several cars and trucks. Um, but he's currently getting a 77
yeah,
F100
you told me
ready.
that before.
Oh,
It's old. Way old. Yes, I can't wait to see your stuff, Stanley. Get some videos of those, more of them, of your work in progress, please. I'd like to see that because I enjoy working on that type of stuff. And like I said, I've restored a lot of antique cars, and I enjoy watching that because I can relate to what you're doing. Every nut, bolt, screw, I can relate to that. Like, I miss my old cars. I don't. When I decided to move and stuff, I got rid of everything because I didn't want to take that baggage along with me. But I miss them, and you'll see them on some of my videos. If you, especially when you see snapshots, you'll see all my old cars, and those were all mine. And there was a time that I was driving five antique cars, and I would drive my parents crazy. Five antique cars, and I'm talking 30s cars and nothing higher than 1946. And every day I would take a different car, and I restored every single one of them because I love old cars.
Then normally get over here to Gothenburg and Pigeon Forge several times a year.
Good. When you're here, please look us up. I'd love to take you out, get some coffee, and just sit and talk for a while. Like to get some video. That's what I'd like to do.
With you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll do a our own little meet and greet and video. We'll go somewhere where it's really scenic and we get some good background and have that'd be a lot of fun. I'd enjoy that very very much. I love shooting good video. She's a little skittish of it, but she's getting better. She used to never let me take pictures of her or anything. And I said, "You're a beautiful woman. Why would you not want your picture taken?" And now I got some really great pictures, that have taken a lot of time to set up and light and stuff. And then now she understands why. Because
Oh,
you look great.
Dan don't do restaurant reviews either.
Good for you. Um, there's just too many people doing it. I don't care if they do it. Let other YouTubers do it. It's just not my thing. And like I said, I like to be private. We both do. When we eat, we like to be private. I think we've done two. I'll say for sure three. Sakura, I did one because I had talked to them and they said that they were going to expand their buffet. They used to have two hot bars, two buffet lines, and that they were expanding it to four, and that they were going to have 60 entrees there, along with all the other stuff. That includes the hibachi, the salad bar, and the fruit, the dessert bar, all that for one low price. And I said, I want to take a video of this.
How much was it again?
$8.95 Wednesday, Saturday,
95.
Sunday, and $9.95 every other day. Holidays $10.95. I rent it because I did the commercial how many times, and so I did that, and that was the first one. That's the first review I did. Second one was J. Dell's Pizza. I did it reluctantly, but being that I was so impressed with the pizza, and people told me, "Hey man, if you're from New York, which I am," I said, and they told me it's really good. It's as close to home as you're going to get. I tried it. I gave it a review, and then I saw that they did calzone, and so I said, and even on the first video, I said that if their pizza is good as it says, I'll probably do the calzone, and I did that. It's the only three I have ever done, and I don't plan on doing any more. It's just not what I strive to do. I really want to produce nice stuff that people like to look at. It's not that I have a problem with you watching me eat or anything like that. It's just I don't think it's entertaining. I want to really show you things, and I'm glad you don't too, because there's so much to videotape. There's so much to look at and share with people. And if you get the right, I explained it, you got to have everything in that frame. Everything's got to be in that frame. So you have to be very clever because what we see, we have the stereoscopic eyes. We see everything from here forward. And when you throw that camera up, you realize how much you lose in the picture and the interpretation of what you're taking a video of. So you have to be pretty crafty to get that information in to that lens. And even if you're shooting super wide.
I just want to ask real quick, Dan.
Dan, yes.
When you were in the Philippines, where did you go to the Philippines?
Where did you visit?
Where did you visit?
And probably if I had my regular glasses on, I could read that. I didn't think of that.
I can't read that either.
Oh.
I have to.
Well, you have your reading glasses on.
That's
but if
why
I had my distance glass, I can't see far away. If I had them, I could sit here and read that stuff too, because that's a little too small for me. When you get old, when you get my
I
65,
said I would like to meet up with you. I
sure.
will can do a day trip over.
Anytime you're ready, I'm here all the time. She works. Um, she's a bit younger than I, but not as young as you may think. I get I get grief, Dan. I get crap all the time. A lot from the wives in this area. They think that I'm some dirty old perverted American dating some young cheesy little Asian. No, she's close to my age. It's just she don't look it. And I laugh at them because I get this. Oh, you dirty old man. Yeah, she's almost collecting Social Security. The hell, what do you want me to do? Want me to date a geriatric?
Oh, so he's from, he went to Manila and Quezon City.
Ah, okay, cool.
And with a try to Baguio City.
Yay!
Yay!
With your mind in mind. Oh, I enjoy her silliness. She takes me away from my seriousness because before we got together, I was extremely serious about life, business, and I've always been really
Well, the
ambitious.
thing is, you do your own, I do my
Right.
own.
But
So
when we got together, I was able to escape away from worrying all the time. And radios and sleep, it's like rust, 24 hours a day, and they're my stations, so I had to keep them on. I had to make sure
he
they were on
said
the air.
he said Filipino do look younger than they are.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Then I got a lot of gray hairs.
But there's a miracle in a bottle that take away those gray. She's got a young face, and for her age, most women, American women her age, you can't hide it. And ladies, I'm not. Please, I'm not being malicious or anything like that.
Stop it now.
It's just Asians, for whatever reason, they
Okay.
they keep like a fine wine.
Okay, that's it.
See how embarrassed she gets?
That's it.
That's it. Kamana, kamana. Which means stop it now, right? That'll be enough.
That's it.
Kamana. That's it. Quickly, I picked up words from her. She doesn't like that because then I know what she's saying.
So then I want to ask you a question. How do you like Baguio City? Because it's cooler like
Mhm.
Tagaytay, but
That's where the base is, in
yes,
Baguio.
yeah. So how do you like Baguio City? Have you been to Tagaytay City too?
Cavite.
Tagaytay City.
Tagaytay.
The internet is slow.
Yeah. Well, it's iffy up here. I told Marie the other night. I mean, you can have the best phones and computers, but if they're still got copper wire running out in the street into your house, it isn't gonna
Do you
matter.
think that if we come down, the internet will be faster or it's the same?
No, it it has to do with. Excuse me. I mean, granted, I'm already. I guess it's streaming because it's YouTube 720p, and that's it. You go any lower than that, you won't be able to see this. It'll be 480, and it'll be grainy, and nobody's gonna watch that. It's not definitely not running at 1080. No, it just doesn't happen. Yeah, especially around here. I don't know if where you are. Most of the wiring that's here is still the old copper cables that they used for the old internet and satellite dishes and stuff like that. They haven't, yeah, they haven't jumped to the gun and put in the fiber optics yet. And I think people don't realize that they buy all these fancy schmancy TVs that like I said, or before they get 4K, 8K. It doesn't matter. You can have the best. You got that copper wire coming in. It's not video does not like copper wire. Video
So
likes
Dan
fiber optics.
Dan loved it when he went to Baguio City.
How long did you stay there? Nice people, very curious people,
We are very
very curious, especially for Americans or even Europeans and stuff. Very curious. They want to know all about you. It's true. I'm sure he understands what I'm saying. want to know everything.
We love Americans.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, your culture has been uh, duped into believing that the streets are paved with
let me
gold.
correct that. We love foreigners when like foreigners come to the Philippines.
Hmm.
We love them.
Yeah,
Everyone. There's no such thing as oh okay
we don't like
let's
that kind, or we don't
yeah we
like this.
don't like that
We welcome
kind.
all foreigners. Well, hopefully they stimulate the economy because it's a pretty poor country. It needs help, and they understand that, and so do Americans and Europeans too. All right, I'm getting sleepy. It's time. It's time. Dan, I appreciate it. Who else is on with us?
Um,
Should tell you.
it should be Dan, um, Crisco,
Crisco, you still there? Thank you. Thank you.
Stanley,
Stanley, thank you for staying on with us. Oh, we talk a lot. I talk a lot. She don't talk a lot. But
Brad,
Brad, Stanley, Crisco, Dan.
um,
Is anyone else?
I think Ines
And Robin was still there. If
Robin
not,
still here.
thank you. For our inaugural trip, the voyage, it was successful. I didn't know if anybody was going to tune in. I kind of figured Cisco would tune in because he's that kind of guy. He's what he says he does and does what he says. And I appreciate that, Cisco.
Dan said,
Crisco.
oh, Crisco.
I'm sorry. You said Cisco and you got me thinking. Crisco, sorry.
Um, Dan said that he enjoys our videos.
Thank you. Thank you. We try not to put too much, if you notice, they're not too serious. I'm a sarcastic son of a gun, and she doesn't like it, but it's just my sense
I
of
don't
humor.
like him being uh, sarcastic because not everybody would appreciate
I know that,
your
but
sense
it's
of
my sense
humor.
of humor. When you hear me say something, look at it from both sides, because a lot of times it's not what you think you heard. All right, and that's just from doing radio for so many years. God, I can't even tell you how much thousands of hours I have done. And you
Um,
learn to be sarcastic after you start. When you interview people, which I've interviewed thousands of people, after a while you get really toughened up for people's BS. And I don't have time for BS from people. And you would know what I mean. There's always
um,
somebody.
Dan do a live chat too on Sundays.
When? What time?
Live stream on Sunday nights.
What time?
Um, I normally do 8 to 10.
Kind of like what we do.
So we need not to bother him.
I don't have. I could adjust it because I'm the new guy on the block. Got no problem with that. We'll talk about that. Text me because I don't want to take away from you, and not that I have anybody to be taken away from. I got a handful of very good people. I'd like to have more. I'm willing to bend. It doesn't. I'm willing to talk. I don't have to do 2 hours if we don't want to do 2 hours. It kind of depends, or I could break it up. I'm here all the time. I don't care if I crank this thing up all during the course of the day. It's not a big deal.
And
to
we
me.
don't want to bother Crisco too.
No, I don't think, Crisco, you don't do a Sunday, do you? I don't think you do Friday and Saturday nights. I always catch you Friday nights. Fridays are really tough because she's usually working and I'm usually doing editing. But Saturdays I make it a thing to definitely watch you, like I did last night. But the internet sucked up here and it sucked by you too. It was terrible here. I couldn't get a phone call out. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we could talk about that because I'm still looking for the groove or the spot that I want. Anyway, um, I'm not sure. I may do it earlier. I don't have a problem doing the show earlier because, like I said, most of the time she's working. I'll just sit up here and it'll give me something to do. And when she comes home, we can pick it up from there. That's fine. I just enjoy doing it. I want to see get off. the ground, and now I got some work to do because I want you to be entertained. I want you guys to always tune into our videos, and everyone gets better because I'm getting slicker with some new programs that I've got. I got a really good editing program, and it does a lot of things, and it's blowing my mind when I'm reading the tutorials and stuff on what I can do with this stuff. And I really want to produce good stuff because I used to produce really good TV shows, but you can't. It doesn't make the transition. Regular broadcast TV to the internet does not work. Certain techniques, J cuts, L cuts, cross cuts. Yes, you
And
can do all that.
Dan said Will and Dawn are on the same time, 8 to 10.
8 to 10. So there'd be
And
three of us doing. Yeah.
and
Okay,
he's
fine.
no, we don't want Dan.
No, no, I'm just saying that that's too many people. It doesn't. I don't want to interfere. Will and Dawn have their thing. They do their shtick. Fine, I respect them for that. That's
But the
good.
time
I don't. The
time
time is 8 to 10. Everybody's doing it at the same time. Um, I may break it up. I don't know. I may do 7 to 8 and then 9 to 11. I can do anything I want, just like you can do anything you want. You don't have to have like a certain clock that you got to follow. You can do 15-minute increments.
Oh, okay. Will and Dawn are 7 to 9 on Sunday.
They're on 7 to 9. Okay. There's
Thank you.
only so many
Dan,
hours in a clock.
Dan, thank you for telling us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There's only so many hours in a clock, and if each of us are doing an hour, somebody's going to overlap somebody somewhere, and I don't
We
mean to
don't
do it.
wanna we don't wanna overlap you.
I don't want to do it to anybody if I can help it, but there's only so many hours in a clock. So I'll play around with the clock.
Yeah.
And as you know, there are certain times that are more watched than not. So I want
Yeah,
to.
because I enjoyed talking to Dan.
Yes, I enjoyed talking to everybody. I was hoping we'd be on the air tonight after that thing decided to do what it did. I didn't think we were going to have a show tonight. And I said, man, here it was. I promoted it. I did the promos for it. And all of a sudden we're not on the air. And I'm sure a couple people got a big laugh out of that. Okay, but sooner or later we'll get it, the kinks worked out and everything will be fine. I'm okay with that. I'm used to stumbling, uh, speed bumps. Sure, you know what I mean. Life gives you a lot of speed bumps, and you have to decide: are you going to let them stop you, or are you just going to go over them and move forward? And okay,
Dan had a camera issue tonight too.
what type of camera are you using for your live streams? Are you using a webcam? Are you using DSLR? Are you using GoPro? My tummy's wrong. Yeah, I'm debating on what camera. This is a 1080p webcam, but I'm not. See, I can't really decide because I'm using the YouTube live, and once I get my other program working, I'll know if it's
Oh,
really
he's
1080.
using the camera in his laptop.
Using the camera in your laptop, and they have a limited scope too of what you can use. You can pick up a lot of these cameras really, really cheap. So you just eBay them. You see what I mean. And they plug right into your side of your microphone goes in. There's usually they're together. There's a USB 3.0, and you got your 3.5 jack that goes in there. They always go together, and you can make it instead of it being a static shot that's looking straight at you. You can adjust them so that you can move them off to just ever so few degrees can change the whole perception of your show.
He said that he uses Canon SL2
Hmm.
for most of my videos.
So okay,
Your videos are very nice.
yeah, I've seen it. They're clear. So
They're
it's obviously
clear.
a very good camera. I decided not to use my DSLR anymore because it got too heavy for my hands. Because I'm always holding a camera, and after a while, my hand. She always does that. She picks up my arm because my arm goes down when I'm videotaping. So I decided, okay, I'm buying a bunch of GoPros, and that's it. And they're really good. Once you get past that littleness, you realize that they are superior cameras in the taking of pictures. Don't have a lot of frills. They don't have a lot of buttons to push, but except when you get into the actual mainframe of programming a GoPro, you get some really interesting effects on there. You just got to get past that tininess because it kind of took me aback. And I said, what's this little tiny little thing doing? It can't even hold open a door. But once you get into it, nice, nice. And now I got gimbals for it, and all these toys that I keep getting. And I'm happy. All the videos that you see now are GoPro 4K, shoot them in 4K, render in 4K, and upload in 4K. Not that it's going to be 4K because YouTube does not. I repeat, especially to that one kid that got sassy with me once. He goes, I load up in 4K and I see it in 4K. And I said, let me correct you on that. You can load it up in 4K. At best, YouTube is going to produce your video in 720p. There, excuse me. Let me explain this. You can send up, which I do, a 4K video or 2.7. You can do 2.7, which is still pretty darn good. But when it gets to YouTube, they compress all videos. All videos. This kid's not subject to some specialness. All videos get compressed through the big machine, the mother of YouTube, down to almost always 720p. Some get leaked through the 1080p. But in between, that's the best your video is going to be. So you're better off uploading the best video you could make. Because when they're done compressing it, then that's the final product of what you did. And that's why it's important for me to give the best. Yes, it uses a lot of memory. It uses a lot of megabytes. It eats up a 128 card in just a little while. But that's the price you pay for having a super clean video, is to make sure that you have as many frames per second. I shoot also 120 frames per second. Most people do 30. Some people that are gutsy will do 60. I do 120 frames a second. So it eats up those 128 megabyte chips really fast. I could maybe get an hour, maybe, if I'm careful how I shoot. But it's superior. You look at the videos of her and I, or any of that, you can see the pores in your skin. You can see the little hairs and stuff like. I mean, really intricate, very fine detail, and that's important, at least to me, because I've done the TV thing, and we were always getting hammered. Shoot the best you can, best you can, best you can, because by the time it gets all the way down through the production staff, it's lost. Every generation loses a percentage.
Honey, he
Yeah.
uses 400 SD cards.
400 megabytes, or
I don't know. I buy 400 SD cards.
what? How many megabytes? How much room is on the cards? Because I think you get 256s, but I don't take that chance. And the reason is because they're not infallible. Those little SD cards. So if you invest all your money in a 256 or
She's got 400 gigabytes.
400 gigabytes, I'd be very well. You're using your Canon, so
Well,
I can
his
understand.
videos are very good.
Yeah, they are good. Well, that's for the space. So you see, I have a real problem because I've had some SD cards go south on me with video I could not reproduce. So I learned a lesson the hard way, because you know that they're not perfect, they're not infallible, those SD cards. So yeah, 128 is okay for me. I have a handful of them. I always carry them with me, and when I feel something's going squirrely, I just change it out, because then I know that if I lost that video, I've only lost that video. That I didn't lose yesterday's and the day before and day before that, and that would upset me quite a bit. Yeah, yeah. I've lost some really great video and pictures, and tried to restore, and it just wasn't working. I tried to redo the videos the way they were, but you can't go back and shoot a video because it doesn't give you that same lighting. Everything is always off. I learned my lesson.
All right.
Yeah, it's time. I'm time. Thank you. Thank you. We made our first day very nice. I appreciate that. And we'll do it again next Sunday. Right now, it's the same for next Sunday, but keep your eye on our website because if we change it, I will promote that. It's going to change to another time. Yes, don't worry about that. But right now, I've made all those promos. And I want to make sure I have enough time a week so I can get all this new programming in place.
Good talking with you too.
Yeah, it was really. I enjoy it. Can't wait to meet up, and then we don't have to do this thing. It's just weird sometimes. I know you're over there. I know you're on the other side of that camera, and you know that I am too. But it's like, okay, where are they exactly? It's a weird part. But anyway, have a good night. Thank you for
And we
joining us
need,
on Vacation Station TV.
yeah, and we need to
That.
remind everybody, check out the channels of
All the people we talk to and all the people you see on our super shout outs, go to their channels because especially you today, she was really looking at a lot of videos. She was really going through not all, but a good chunk of our subscribers watching their videos and taking notes. And I think that's very good.
we need to thank them. Crisco and the goats, Stanley Speed,
Yep. Dan the Mountain Man.
Dan the Mountain Man, Brad, um, who else?
There's Robin Inez. There's too many to mention. But thank you for being the first ones that you made it on here. The first one. I was wondering. I really was wondering if anybody was going to tune in tonight. Not that it wasn't that it hurt my feelings or anything. It's just I wonder if anybody knew type of thing. And I think I promoted it enough. And of course you stumble in just like I've stumbled into Crisco's. I mean I just stumbled in and I've been a watcher ever since. So thank you, Crisco. Thank you guys. We're done for the night. And next Sunday we'll do it again.
And we want to thank all the subscribers.
Thank every one of the subscribers that have didn't join us tonight, but maybe they'll join us next week. We are looking forward to you being there and join us. I'll have more exciting news once I get certain things up and going. Because, like I said, the copycats are always around. You know what I'm talking about. So it's like, okay, wait till we get it done and up and going, because then it's just copying and you're not innovating. See you next Sunday.